podcast.
I don't wanna die a sinner. It take nothing to give up. I'm looking to the hills for the strength you will give, cause I don't wanna die wrong. I don't wanna die wrong. I don't wanna die a sinner. Take nothing to give up. I'm looking to the hills for the strength you will give, cause I don't wanna die wrong. I don't wanna die wrong. For so long the wrong way. Sometimes I come to say I got hell to pay, and I do if I turn my back on you, death will surely ensue when I meet you on judgment day. So I cleave like a tight pair of jeans, Louis. Ruah Hakadash, hope you see to give it to me. Minutes vessel so it don't slip right through me. Better yet, I knew what you made me do. Please keep me from sin, cleanse me within, make me a being. Kayi, I'm pursuing the moot, know nothing. So while I walk the rocks, equip me so I get this thing right. Blowing, call, but I'm making sure you choose me. Some don't believe, but to you again I cleave like a tight pair of jeans, Louis. Multiple witness, my other business I must tend to. Created for a purpose, now chill is within you. Move like the been do. No death, it awaits you. Temporary sleep for Kadash, she'll awake you and save you. So don't let the grave phase you. Take more than teeth and tongue to get with the sun. I'ma not manifest in the work that you do. On and off the mic, gotta show and prove. Big daddy got a cane that'll come and correct you. Ride for the back of the fool. Gotta be circumspect all that you do. From niggas to fool, they can influence you. One wrong move can get you in a fire pool. Consider what you do before you do it. Cleave like a tight pair of jeans, Louis. Ruah Hakadash, hope you see to give it to me. Minutes vessel so it don't slip right through me. Better yet, I've been new. Would you make me new, please? Far from my sin, shining within. Makutamin, folly of being. Kayi, I'm pursuing the moot, know nothing. So while I walk the rocks, allow me to get this thing right. Blowing, call, but I make sure you choose me. Can't afford you refuse me. I don't wanna die a sinner. It take nothing to give up. I'm looking to the hills for the strength you will give, cause I don't wanna die wrong. I don't wanna die wrong. I don't wanna die a sinner. Take nothing to give up. I'm looking to the hills for the strength you will give, cause I don't wanna die wrong. I don't wanna die wrong.
Trouble in your way, feeling like you can make it. Put your trust in your hoover and exercise your patience. Stormy day gon' come the day after the night. Put your trust in your hoover and it'll be alright. Trouble in your way, feeling like you can make it. Put your trust in your hoover and exercise your patience. Stormy day gon' come the day after the night. Put your trust in your hoover and it'll be alright.
Sometimes when you're going through, yeah, there's gonna be some pain. But if you're gonna grow, you're gonna need sunshine and rain. So whenever you're going through, yeah, I know it might get hard, but all you gotta do is put your trust in your heart. Alright, alright, alright. Sing it with me, y'all. You know, it's gotta be, yeah. Sometimes when you're going through, yeah, it's gonna be some pain, but if you're gonna grow, you're gonna need sunshine and rain. Whenever you're going through, yeah, I know it might get hard, but I tell you what, do is put your trust in your heart. Yeah, oh, put your trust in Him. Trust in Him. I said I know all you gotta do. Put your trust. Yeah, put your trust in Him. Trust in Him. And I know that it's gonna be alright. If you know, will you say
exercise your patience. Stormy day gon' come the day after the night. Put your trust in Yahuwah and it'll be alright. Trouble in your way, feeling like freaking naked. Put your trust in Yahuwah and exercise your patience. Stormy day gon' come the day after the night. Put your trust in Yahuwah and it'll be alright.
Sometimes when you're going through, yeah, there's gonna be some pain. But if you're gonna grow, you're gonna need sunshine and rain. So whenever you're going through, yeah, I know it might get hard. But all you gotta do is put your trust in God. Sing, oh, I know all you gotta do. Yeah, put your trust in Him. Trust in Him. And I know that it's gonna be alright. That it's gonna be alright.
Praise y'all. My everything. Yeah, you are. And everything.
Everything is you.
Everything.
Now you are everything. And everything is you. Now you are everything. And everything is you. Now you are everything.
A fellow on the beat.
Yeah, you are everything. And everything in you, yeah, you are everything. And everything in you, yeah, you are everything. And everything in you, yeah, you are everything. You're my all. Yo, big cookie. Would you believe if I told you that God's my everything? The one that make the sun shine and cause the clouds to rain. The one that brightens the darkness and take away the pain. In a whole world full of crazy, just let it keep the same. Maybe insane, ain't got no common sense. Calling me the chef I made, it's my Yahuwah lent. At any moment he could take it away. But on this road I meditate for long and keep it this way. I remember back in the day when I used to cry loud. Wondered if I tried to confess, would you even hear me out? Have I done too much to go against your will? That when I try to turn to get it right, you say be fully still. I know you're the way, the truth, and the light. You gave me yours to give me mine, so I gotta live right. It's more than just words and just a song to sing. This is my confession and profession. You're my everything. You are everything. Yeah. Everything in you. Yeah, you are everything. And everything in you. Yeah, you are everything. And everything in you. Yeah, you are everything. You are my all. Yahuwah cover all, that's my everything. Gave me a shot, like when Beretta's bang. My eyes on the mouth, cool, fixed with steady aim. It always been my goal, he saved my soul, that never changed. I rep the gang, yo, who he click, now who you with? The winning team, coached by Allahim, I be your crew to queer. Who you know died for they ride on the crucifix. Stuck to his road like a movie script, and kick the beam. Now the word got me living clean. Yahuwah intent to kill it, but Yahushua, he intervened. My wife thought it was a bit extreme. My old dog couldn't understand, guess I'm just a different breed. But no credit under me, that's just a money loan. And he coming back to get interest before my life is gone. I make a point to get Tahalim on the microphone. Sweet savor sacrificed up, smell like a nice cologne. You are everything. Shit.
Everything in you. Yeah, you Chip. It's my everything. It's my everything. It's my everything. It's my everything.
I don't know what you heard about me, but you heard what you want. Fucking side hitting me. There's no sin, baby. Checks up all you will see. It's the book that I am on my Yehudi, Yehudi gang. Don't know what you heard about me, but you heard what you want. Fucking side hitting me. There's no sin, baby. Checks up all you will see. You'll see that I am on my Yehudi. They gon' say this little nigga fucking crazy. I feel like I'm 6'4", Yehuda baby. Ain't slim, body acting all shady. All I hear is wearing. Little baby, play crazy. Now you like sin danger. They get stolen, drugged out like Jones trailer. That confused like a Japanese from Decatur. You won't rock for a while, like a cicada. Your hoodie gang to death, but let me call the scene. We don't die, we sleep, it's for eternity. We threw the domino war, I'm robbery. That's a bar, but please don't try and cross me. You get hit with a bar, you try and cross it. And tossed over your niggas, that's how you cross it. Well, I support in this building, nigga cross beams. And Jesus ain't a savior, nobody crossed him. That's what you heard, take what you hearing now. Don't taste with Jesus, boy, I've been to put that pork down. I sink the ship, Titanic too, he's open now. Jesus your ark, all you creepers about to drown. Hold you now while I stay armed, watch me reach. No block shots when I shoot, watch me teach. There's Mortal Kombat with you, will never finish me. I'm not a Christian nigga, YGTD. I don't know what you heard about me, ain't what you heard. What you want, fucking tie hit me. There's no sin, baby. Checks up all you will see. That's the book that I am on my Yehudi, Yehudi gang. Don't know what you heard about me, ain't what you heard. What you want, fucking tie hit me. There's no sin, boy. Checks up all you will see. You'll see that I am on my Yehudi.
First off, let me start by saying my name
It's Cookie.
and now my verse is with a
Big Bang. Hey.
flow gon' make you move.
Come and get your oxygen.
Steve by you, we're going ahead and
Stand up on your feet.
Breezy said only folks sitting.
This cripples and sinners.
Ain't good enough for you to stand.
But I don't see the difference.
I just take the face presented.
Kill it, kill it, kill it, kill it. Hey, hey.
Reason for the spirit man like me.
That's why I scream out loud. YGTD.
I hear some legs and cut, I want some drop, but now I see my whole life has changed. I ain't the man I used to be. I tell my truth in my syringe.
I speak it candidly.
Went from Christian to true Yehudi.
Word to Kennedy.
Can't go back to my old ways.
That be a tragedy.
Don't wait to make it in.
No sin in my anatomy.
The wages of sin is death.
They come with Big Burn.
Trying to get away from sin.
Like Smokey Rough on Big Burn.
Like a straight and narrow
Might as
mind.
well call me Big
No
Burn.
need for a relaxing.
Come up back and stand up real firm.
Had to exercise my pen.
And show my wordplay.
Can't play about my soul. Cause
That'll hurt me in the worst way.
my soul is longer from Yahuwah.
I'm thirsty.
Just want the day after my death.
Finally be my birthday, my birthday. I don't know what you heard about me. Hey, what you heard?
You want fucking tie hit me.
There's no sin, boy.
Checks up all you will see.
That's the book, boy.
I'm on my Yehudi.
Your Hootie gang.
Don't know what you heard about me.
Hey, what you heard?
You want fucking tie hit me.
There's no sin, boy.
Checks up all you will see.
You'll see
That I am on my Yehudi.
your Hootie gang.
Don't know what you heard about me.
Hey, what you heard?
You want fucking tie hit me.
There's no sin, boy.
Checks up all you will see.
That's the book, boy.
I'm on my Yehudi.
Your Hootie gang.
Don't know what you heard about me.
Hey, what you heard?
You want fucking tie hit me.
There's no sin, nigga.
Checks up all you will see.
You'll see
That
that
I am on my Yehudi.
your Hootie gang.
You ain't Yehuda, you ain't shit.
Hey, YGTD, your Hootie gang.
We ain't wearing no bandanas.
But we let them tassels hang. YGTD. More than a saying, this thing right here is so like, make sure you mean it when you say YGTD, your Hootie gang.
We ain't wearing no bandanas.
But we let them tassels hang.
YGTD.
More than a saying, this thing right here is so like, make sure you mean it when you say it.
Big Lee try to tell you that we
Flash, flash.
Same thing.
Nah, nigga, quit capping.
Your religion set up.
This is trapping.
You won't pull it up, 10 niggas
Can't trip.
looking at you illegitimate.
Bastard.
You a slave to the job like your master.
One thing that belong here, another word to me, you natural.
You ain't never seen
Know your Hootie.
angels checking for circumcision.
You tiny nigga fruity.
I'ma tell you like after.
Turn aside, don't pursue me.
So the one I like, they don't lie.
I'm your Hootie truly. Your Hootie nigga, YGTD.
Your Hootie gang.
We ain't wearing no bandanas.
But we let them tassels hang.
YGTD. More than a saying, this T right here is so like, make sure you mean it when you say it. YGT, your Hootie gang.
We ain't wearing no bandanas,
but we let them tassels hang. More than a saying, this T right here is so like, make sure you
mean it when you say it.
Your Hootie gang.
That's my posse.
Thought I told you do our thing. I keep it Aki. We crossing over Gouda, Maine. For sure I'm Ari. And no pushover, we are shepherds and we're predators. That means don't mess with us. No colors, we ain't sending it. Plans ain't needed, we're ripping us. We came
from greater fishing, but down from Olon we separate. Everything we do is so that we can be sure. Tassels hanging blue, reminding us of the tour. Ain't taking everybody, each member is of your Hoover. You might think it's strange, that's why you call us peculiar. I'm looking for the main, Yahusha in his appearance. I serve him to the aim, my spot I'm trying to secure. YGDD, Yahudi gang. We ain't wearing no bandanas, but we let them tassels hang. YGDD, more than a saying. This thing right here is so light, make sure you mean it when you say it. YGDD, Yahudi gang. We ain't wearing no bandanas, but we let them tassels hang. YGDD, more than a saying. This thing right here is so light, make sure you mean it when you say it. Gonna come out raw. Come out raw, baby. I ain't writing nothing. Can't condemn this truth, baby. Damn it. Y'all check it out. Check me out, this is how I'm living. And find a list of things you niggas can't condemn it. Her mind is undefeated, but so great a cloud of witness. Conduct investigations, go and do it quickly. Check me out, this is how I'm living. And by the looks of things you niggas can't condemn it. Her mind is undefeated, but so great a cloud of witness. Conduct investigations, go and do it quickly.
That's restraining me, that spark the flame in me. My heart is changing me, sustaining me, and never shaming me. Favor remain with me, reframing me from Satan entangling. Peel, cocaine, and weeds, no banging free, so hanging street, so vain and dangerously a sinner. But Yahusha came to me and spoke it plain to me, explain to me my purpose, life is no longer a game to me. Confessing so he won't be ashamed of me. They put his name in me, enduring as a good soldier. I gotta remain to be, so y'all can get the glory, receiving all of the fame of me. The same as me, my misfortune all go gets the grain with me and spit the flame with me. Packing enemies, taking aim with me. No vain jangling, no philosophy entertaining me. No game in me, I learned from pain in me that it's the same to be a transgressor, more or lesser. It's all the same degree, but I'm a game to be what is written and it's containing me, training me, keep them staining for spot, wrinkle, or blaming me.
Check me out, this is how I'm living. And by the looks of things you niggas can't condemn it. Her mind is undefeated, but so great a cloud of witness. Conduct investigations, go and do it quickly. Check me out, this is how I'm living. And by the looks of things you niggas can't condemn it. Her mind is undefeated, but so great a cloud of witness. Conduct investigations, go and do it quickly. Check me out, man. I can live without sin. A couple goes to Yazbin, Malak of all of my kin. Yahusha HaMashiach, pump me up like Reebok. Devising plans against it, you gon' flop like Bloody D-Bot. Watch us transition, still standing while you surprised. Rita came a long way like we Aki, Ivan, Dada. Empress to the rule by termination of accusers. Finding cheeks and truth, you done created an illusion. Scoping out all liberties, let us know when you're finished. Short attention span, 59 minutes your limit. Disingenuous, need to quit, you make like strenuous. I just let y'all do what he do, transform my mind and clean me up. Spill your guts, you hater or rather dwell nigga shock. Better join the winning team, ain't much time on the clock. But off from Leo Rise, a peculiar way of living. I see you talking, but y'all sinners can't condemn it. Nope. Check me out, this is how I'm living. And by the looks of things you niggas can't condemn it. Her mind is undefeated, but so great a cloud of witness. Conduct investigations, go and do it quickly. Check me out, this is how I'm living. And by the looks of things you niggas can't condemn it. Her mind is undefeated, but so great a cloud of witness. Conduct investigations, go and do it quickly. You can't condemn it, man. I know you're on your social media sites. You got a lot of stuff to say. Trying to get the inside track of what's going on in here, man. Worry about yourself, man. I hear you talking. Why y'all do this? What about that? What about your mama? I'm mistaken for your dad.
This song started there. This thing sound like it give you some bass on the track. You know what I'm talking about? Like boom, 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 boom. I wake up, breath filling my lungs, can't stay the way I was before the day begun. The conscious to my surroundings, some minors would say it was a dress rehearsal for death, for my rest up and refresh. Like resurrected, step I'm choosing to step in the corrected path. Yes, it's gotta be where the lap is when it's all in his hands. No need to lean on man, everything we think is chance. It seems y'all who are playing chief architect, sure they got the blueprints. How to break you down and build you up so you can do this. Will if you willing, so for sure you can produce this. I eat, but it's the trees that he chopped down that are fruitless. Truth is, I should be one of them, counted not as a son of them. It's only by his con I'm allowed to make this song. Look, that's the mic, cut me straight up the top. It's only right that I give him his props. Cause I praise Jah, how to learn my stripes. Should be dead, he allowed me life. Once was blind, now I got my sight. Ain't that alright? Ain't that alright? Ain't that alright? I know where my strength lies. It comes from the Most High. And even if it costs my life, I feel alright.
Feel alright, ain't good, so I'm grinning like a possum found a meal in the hood. I'm alive and I can see, and I'm on top of ground, the ground ain't on top of me. Cause baby, I'm following the safari, and I gotta be prepared like my name is Scar. And this part of Kush, that's equivalent to Dush. But I'm holding on, y'all, go ahead, shake the bush. Ain't no raha like the one I got. Not stealing before the hook goes in the pot. At the plate, he's a grand like a kilowatt. Don't get mad at me, cause I'm giving straight a mile. As I sit back and think about all he's done and how he gave me life through his only son, I can't be mad, get this man a standing ovation. And put your hands up.
I praise Jah, how to learn my stripes. Should be dead, he allowed me life. Once was blind, now I got my sight. Ain't that alright? Ain't that alright? Ain't that alright? I know where my strength lies. It comes from the Most High. And even if it costs my life, I feel alright. Stay flyer than the insect, fresher than the incense. Pep in my step, nonetheless, Yahuwah did this. Though I wasn't worthy, he showed his mercy and lifts this. Each from where I was, though I come up shorter than midget.
With no legs, my life was upside down. Had to turn around, stop the blood from rushing to my head. Now I'm munching on my daily bread and tearing it up. Cause before I was never satisfied like dirty red.
Red shot my aim, that's what I'ma aim. Got a clay to it, call me Louis Spider. Got a claim to the things we've been told to do in the double ring or the safari. Guaranteed to keep me washed sweeter than the bar.
Looking at my eyes leaking like Hashika shit. I must avoid a place that's hot like wasabi. Ivory's a lifestyle, not a hobby.
More cowbell. Cause I praise Jah, how to learn my stripes. Should be dead, he allowed me life. Once was blind, now I got my sight. Ain't that alright? Ain't that alright? Ain't that alright? I know where my strength lies. It comes from the Most High. And even if it costs my life, I feel alright. How to learn my stripes. Should be dead, he allowed me life. Once was blind, now I got my sight. Ain't that alright? Ain't that alright? Ain't that alright? I know where my strength lies. It comes from the Most High. And even if it costs my life, I feel alright. Well, alright then.
Now I got plenty things to say, but I'ma keep it short and give you just a taste. Cause the A-Ra ain't great. Hoes talking out of line, never influence or disgrace. Got our baby girls working, dance the opposite of chase. Don't you listen to them thoughts, them acts will put you in a plot. Keep your leg close and close your body. You wanna ride on top? Be a boss, don't be ignorant. 6 figure, 5 months, so my swag is different. Say you got that wild bust, your Nafash is right. You need some substance, put that bust and this and outcry. It's okay, be sober, that's why what they told you. Remit up on a hope of a wife, that shit's over. Modesty is back and it's here to stay. Don't be different.
Marvelous Jason.
Hands up, brave. Yahuwah too. Give them all the praise. Put your hands up, hands up. Keep your hands up, brave. Put your hands up, hands up. Keep your Yahuwah praise. Yahuwah want you to kill them all. Keep your hands up, raised. If you know Yahuwah too, then just give them all the praise. Now put your hands up, hands up. Keep your hands up, raised. Now put your hands up, hands up. Give Yahuwah praise. I've been down a lot of years with your hootie click, but time doesn't excuse me from what my duty is. I stay grinding, stay focused, stay minded. I ain't joking, I'm finding what to your mouth of your Yahuwah is.
And I love it, I a hobby, yes it's changing me. Didn't see a vision, no God, so nobody came to me. Just was sick and tired of my life, was living dangerously. Now his word is plain to me, yes they made a man of me. Look what I became to be, I'm walking the right. This is years of consistency, it wasn't overnight. Had a lot of bumps and bruises as I falling down flights. But you who should heal my wounds, and I am grateful for life. I am grateful for life, Kaida sin is bizarre. So as long as I live, I will give Tahallah. To you who would do is Ben Yahusha HaMashiach, the Abba and Shamash. If you feel me, reach for the stars. Yahudim, won't you kill them all? Give your hands a raise. If you know you who was due, then just give them all a praise. Now put your hands up, hands up. Give your hands a raise. Now put your hands up, hands up. Give you who a praise. If you know you who was due, put them up, put them up. You have clothes, you have food, get them up, get them up. If you know he's a provider, he's the truth and not a liar. Need him to lead and to guide you, get them up, get them up. Round two, let's go again, get it in the booth. Like it's harvest time, the years, and you know how we do. It's required to appear at least thrice in a year. Out of town, and if the nearest time we show up and prove, it just ain't lip service, gotta put in work every day. I'm not, it's in your stance, it ain't just about what you say. Hey, gotta give up praises to my ruler and maker, to Yahuwah creator. My lifestyle and behavior must line up with the pages. That's what's written in Qatar. No small talk, this is major. It's about my nefesh. Keep it real, keep it trill, keep it about 100 stacks. If your hand is to the plow and you don't plan on looking back, Yahuwah, won't you kill them all? Give your hands a raise. If you know you who was due, then just give them all a praise. Now put your hands up, hands up. Give your hands a raise. Now put your hands up, hands up. Give you who a praise. I'm Yahudim, won't you kill them all? Give your hands a raise. If you know you who was due, then just give them all a praise. Now put your hands up, hands up. Give your hands a raise. Now put your hands up, hands up. Give you who a praise.
Rock roll.
Yahuwah's coming back for his people, man. Say Yahuwah's coming back for his people, man. I just wanna be ready when he comes. Striving like I'm trying to make his top 10. If he had one, you know what I'm talking about? Listen. Humpty Dumpty niggas sit on the wall of Qatar. That's a great fall, it's gon' be hard. I'm a player, learn my lesson, baby, I balls hard. I ain't talking transgression when I'm giving my all. Y'all do is Ben Yahusha HaMashiach. Play the game to win, it's too easy like a free shot. Sold myself to him, my bazaar and my nefesh, but don't dare compare me to a hoochie or a freak thought. Her sheets hot, cause she got her legs open and he keep his head poking. Fornicator, you stupid. Think I'm missing out on life cause I don't run with your clique. Recompense gon' be a bit, so okay Cupid. Go ahead, live your life, yeah, live it to the full. Transgressing, hoping for heaven, know that shit's all bull. Like the 96 NBA season, Yahudim my allegiance. Amunah, you won't get me for treason. Bashara, I'ma watch for his people. Elohim is a keeper. Keep your Holy Ghost, God and your Jesus. We believers of Amat through his preachers. And I talk a big game, cause big game is why I'm not in the bleachers, Nika. All that sideline talk, step the game up. Strip the feeble knees and stop whining, old lame duck. Excess of riot, still running to that strange stuff. Same stuff, we didn't miss Raheem, nigga, you dangerous. Blameless, it's the life I'm called to. Make amends over friend, whatever fate befalls you. Service in, word is in, that's it, it's all you. Yahushua gon' shop it by the book, what's in, it's all true. Bad, small few, he gon' yash you in the end. Gotta say myself, Matthew chapter 10. But dog from dumb relatives, kin, folks, and friends, the bar, the sword that separates, so that I can make it in. Make it in, yeah, I gotta make it in. If I ain't top 3, I'm tracking y'all's top 10. Make it in, yeah, I gotta make it in. Striving like I'm trying to make you who was top 10. I'm gone.
off, these niggas sit on the wall of guitar. That's a great fall, it's gon' be hard. I'm a player, learn my lesson, baby, I balls hard. I ain't talking transgression when I'm giving my all. Y'all through his being Yahusha HaMashiach. Play the game to win, it's too easy like a free shot. Sold myself to him, my bazaar and my navash, but don't dare compare me to a hoochie or a freak hot. But she's hot, cause she got her legs open, and he keep his head poking. Fornicator, you stupid. Think I'm missing out on life cause I don't run with your clique. Recompense gon' be a bench, so okay Cupid, go ahead, live your life, yeah, live it to the full. Transgressing, hoping for heaven, know that all bull, like the 96 NBA season. Yahoo my allegiance, I'm enough, you won't get me for treason. But you're wrong, I'ma watch for his people. All of him is a keeper. Keep your Holy Ghost, God in your Jesus. We believers of Vermont through his preachers. And I talk a big game, cause big game is why I'm not in the bleachers. Leak up, all that sideline talk, step your game up. Strip the people's knees and stop whining, lame book. Excess of riot, still running to that strange stuff. Same stuff we did in Misraim, nigga, you dangerous. Blameless, it's the life I'm called to. Make amends over friend, whatever fate befalls you. Serving sin, word is in, that sin is on you. Yahushua was gon' shop it by the book, was in, it's all true. Small few, he gon' yash it in the end. Gotta say myself, Matthew chapter 10. But dog from dumb relatives, kin folks and friends, the part of sword that separates, so that I can make it in. Make it in, yeah, I gotta make it in. If I ain't top 3, I'm cracking y'all's top 10. Make it in, yeah, I gotta make it in. Driving like I'm trying to make Yahuwah's top 10. I'm count.
Yes, sir. Crack cocaine is a powerful drug. That's why I try not to use it. I move my little wheelchair, man. This show would have helped out. I had at the front door somewhere when I came in. Man, how y'all doing this morning? Everybody all right? Good to see all of y'all. That's what I'm talking about. Boy, oh, goodness. I gotta make sure I dry that. Oh, goodness. Oh, my goodness. We need a steering wheel on that thing, man. This thing ain't made it back around, is it? No turn. That's what I'm talking about. Boom. Now y'all like that? We're gonna do what we're gonna do. We won that land dead contest. We're gonna do one in the chill. Yeah, that way they ain't ready for that one. They're gonna be before their time. So I'll move this over a little bit right here. Probably about right there. All right, y'all all right? All right, everybody all right? Two to be here. Which is our word for good. Spare her one more time, one more day. We're still alive, the police ain't killed us. Or the vaccine these people got out here to try to give us, ain't that right? Somebody gotta take it, but I can't be that dummy. I was looking at a special this morning on television, I was gonna try to get them to pull it up. Turn around just a tad. They were showing how, they were showing some people that got it. They were Trump supporters and believers in the vaccine. They showed videos of them 3 days later. Man, them folk were tore out the frame. One lady just shaking, she all on her seat. She said, this is every day for me now. She like, please, you know, they ain't giving them no help either. There's no help, no benefits. You get that vaccine and something go wrong, that's on you. You sign away all your rights when you get it. These people can try to keep being proponents for the vaccine, but human immunity gonna do it. The main thing we gotta do is turn all of him. The biggest thing we got, the problem in the book that already prescribed what to do, is no way the vaccine gonna work. It ain't a vaccine anyway. If it's a vaccine, you shouldn't still be able to catch nothing. Now they're saying the new Delta variant they got is more strenuous. So the vaccine they got, it don't even fight this. So you got to get a whole nother set of vaccine besides the 3 you get to get ready for the next. Then you don't know what your body gonna, which means you're gonna get something else gonna alter your DNA. See, the thing to do now, man, got to turn. Especially for the so-called Negro. We the lab people got to keep putting our trust in these people. The system has showed us time and time again the design that fell us. I had an article I pulled up on yesterday where they're saying 50% of the CDC hadn't even been vaccinated. That's right. Did y'all know that? Yes, sir. 50% of the CDC, the people that regulated, mandated, hadn't even took it, and they ain't gonna take it. Hadn't lost their job, hadn't been up on the fire. Now what that tell you when the people that mandated hadn't taken it? How you gonna make me get something you hadn't taken? But we know about the Tuskegee experiment they used on us. They didn't take that either, they gave it to us. Crack cocaine, they gave it to us first. Everything they give us to demonize us and kill us, they always use it on us first. And make it look like they come in to sign of help. It's time for our people to be smarter than what we've been. Time to get ourselves together and try to repair our relationship with the Most High. That's what they've done, is separate us, to keep us away from it, keep us away from real knowledge. Try to keep us on their Christianity, the thing they use to poison our people. That's the only way they could defeat us, was to give us a fake God they created. A God how in the world did the so-called Negro accept the God that looked like the people that were coming to capture them? How much sense that made? Let me see, the man that made you, the man that created you, the man that loved you, the man that saved you, is the same man that came and captured you and beat you and raped you and robbed you and cut you off and demonized you. And then you pray to him. That's our stupidity. That's why we got to give our people intelligence, get our people to think. We got to think further than just the pages of what he called the King James Version of the book. This is a book he gave up from 1611. So all I asked the man over and over again, what were they doing in 1610? Because your book hadn't been created in 1611. So what was man doing in 1610? What was he doing in 1609? What was he doing in 1599? Before you even gave the authorization for them to go back and try to call themselves translate, and they didn't translate. The translate, let's look at, what is the definition? Let's see what translate means. Let's see if they actually did that. How about that? See, we've been lied to an illusion so long, our people come along, we hadn't did no thinking. All we did was accept what the man gave. He got a cover on it, it got a picture on the front, and it got something on the back, and it got an index and an appendix. We'll believe it's a true book. Fiction books will do the same thing. It's time for our people to get smarter than what we've been. Let's look at first about what is translate. So that's what he's saying he did. He translated. That's what, anybody got the King James Version on them? I call it perversion. At the front of it, can y'all look, does it say the translation? Look at it, say, Father, look at your book and say, this is important. You know what? You know, people will take more time out to research and study other stuff. When it comes down to something that you're going to attach your soul to and have a lifestyle behind it, why don't you check it and make sure it's right? Why would you just accept something they gave you? Let's see what translate is. Translate is to express the sense of words or text in another language. The only problem we got about it is that they put it in English, but you never express what he actually said. That's the problem we got. From the name Jesus, from the name Lord, from the name God, you never express what he was actually trying to say. And that's the part that hurts, because we take it as though these were the literal words of the Creator, that he actually spoke English, that he actually came down and spoke proper English and gave it to people that spoke proper English to come back and give it to us. And they delivered us by bringing us from Africa and bringing us him another lie. Another lie we've been told. Tell these folks to show y'all these. They should. Let me tell you what's amazing. You can go to Charleston, South Carolina, and you can see the auction block. You can go to South Carolina. You can no doubt probably go to Plymouth Rock somewhere and look at them. Where the slave ships at? Come on. So what happened to all the slave ships? Nobody asking these critical questions. How you got the auction block, the chain, and we know it happened. Where the slave ships? All these shit, where the Santa and the Pinta and the Maria? Where all these folks at? Where the Mayflower? This white man got dinosaur bones. 15 million years old. Saber-tooth tigers, 20 million years old. Where are the slave ships? Nobody actually, has anybody seen them? All of them just dwindled away, huh? Nigga got all the paperwork in the Voyager, but he ain't got one ship. He managed to keep 1611 versions, but he can't keep a slave ship. I don't believe it. I don't believe it. It makes absolutely no sense that this man transported this many people into this country. We were here before he got him. That's right. There's literal proof. We were in Mexico before Mexican got there. Yeah. There ain't a place a white face been we hadn't been and already explored. That's right. Already been and helped develop. That's right. And what happened to it? Even his lettering, his system, his style of writing, he stole it from us. That's right. Everything that they have, they took it from us, and now we're sitting back and we're being taught something as though they're educating us. Now they call it educating when all they're doing is giving you stupidity. Because you accepted something that you had never even verified. That man got a whole museum of dinosaurs. You telling me you know a nigga can kill one of them? A 75-foot pterodactyl. What nigga you know can beat it? I got niggas shot in my neighborhood we couldn't whoop. Now you tell me nigga around here killing pterodactyls, snatching pterodactyls out there. Joker boy have 100-foot wingspan. Who's shooting it down? You ain't got no guns. You throwing a spearman and hitting a 75-foot long pterodactyl? I don't believe none of it. I rather believe Jurassic Park. I did think Jurassic Park was true one time I first seen it. I said I didn't want to go, I just watched it on TV. Something gonna go wrong, but you know, it just shows you how acceptant we are of whatever they show us. They induced over to, you know, years ago, a lot of so-called Negroes didn't have television in their home. They know they had radios. Television for white people, television was for entertainment. Folks don't realize television was for entertainment. It's still for entertainment. So when they show you the different stuff, even the news, it's entertaining. The people that they showing that getting shot down, falsely arrested, getting murdered, are who? Us. It's entertainment. And until we start breaking the psychosis and start thinking for ourselves, things ain't gonna get better for us. You can take this book and believe all you want to believe. I tell y'all all the time, your real reality starts when you walk outside that door. That's what you got to look at. When you're hearing what the book says, you have to look at how prevalent it is and how resourceful it is toward what you're actually dealing with. These folks have sold us Jesus. How many, when you were sick, called on Jesus? When you broke, called on Jesus. When you need a place to go, called on Jesus. When you ain't got a mother, you ain't got a father, who your mother, your father? Jesus. Who your daddy, your mother? Jesus. And he your slave master too. So we got to break that cycle. We don't need no more slave masters. We refuse to be docile anymore. It's time for us to step up to the point, step up to the plate and educate ourselves and get real facts. If we want to do anything to better our people, it's going to come through us. No white person going to come and deliver. I'm not looking for nobody white to go in office and deliver us. Young, middle-aged, or old. I ain't looking for a white woman to deliver us. Anybody going to deliver us is going to be by our own hands. That's right. Anytime when Yasharal was delivered before, it was by one of our own. That's right. We've never been delivered by another race. It's never happened. Why is it going to happen today? Yasharal, tell me, if we're going to believe something, then let's believe something that's factual. When has Yasharal ever been delivered by another race? We've never been delivered by another. Why would it happen today? See, they need you to believe in something that's not true so you'll break relationship with the Most High. And the only reason we refer to him as the Most High because nobody's higher than he is. Nobody sets higher. Nobody rules with more power. Nobody has the ability that he has. That's why we call him the Most High. Nobody can be above him. Everybody is beneath him. Everybody is under him. And it's our job to subdue the stuff that he gave us. The only reason homosexuality is at a rampant pace, the only reason child molestation is at a rampant pace, disease at a rampant pace, because we hadn't solidified our position. People ain't just gonna give it to you, you gotta solidify it. When Yahushua came, who they want to call Jesus, which is not the same name, which is really a ground pig. The person that saved you, you would rather call him a ground pig. Can we look up what the word Jesus is? Since we're talking. It's important for our people to understand. And this is the sad part about it. The white man never hid it from us. Now this is what you got to ask yourself about every Christian preacher. Are they really in favor for you or they're against you? Every Christian preacher is against you being delivered. None of them want the truth. If you tell them the truth and show it to them and say, let's look at what's fact. Let's look at your book and the date of your book when you got it. Now, what was here before your book? What did they call him before you got your 1611 version? How did you come across this name? What was the actual purpose of the name? To make a fool out you. I don't know if we even had to go him. Let's just look up the meaning of the name Jesus. Woo! Y'all cooking something here again today? Is it a little warm here to anybody else? Who is not warm to? Oh, y'all sick. Let's look at Latin. That's all they're gonna tell me. That's what they're gonna tell me. Oh, let's see what's the Latin. Let's see what it means in Latin. I'm just curious. Since we're him, how about it? I don't believe it. Do the meaning of sus, S-U-S. You saw something? Jesus, man. Here we go. Come on, slide up. Go on, roll up. You know Google gonna play you around. Slide down for a second. Let me see. Let me count. Jesus' Latin meaning. They're gonna come here on Jesus' definition and meaning dictionary. 1. Come on. What's next? Then hold on. Stop. Let me see what they say right here. Slide down a little bit. Right here. What does the name Jesus literally mean? Is Jesus Latin or Greek? What is the origin of the word Jesus? Come on, what else we got? Does Jesus' name mean earth pig, follow in the truth? Is this somebody else right? You know, follow this somebody else. Followingtruth.com, I don't care about him. Wikipedia, Jesus is a masculine given name derived from the name. Yeah. What's this? How do I pronounce this? IESVS in classical Latin. Iosis, Greek, in the Greek form of the Hebrew and the Aramaic name, Yeshua. You see how they tell you right here? Yeshua, they at least close enough to what they're supposed to be. And they're trying to tell you that this is actual the name and trying to get you to buy and subscribe to the name Jesus. But the man is correct, right? The sus, if I'm correct, break it down and see if you can find sus, S-U-S. It's important for you to know what you believe in. So we look at our name, Yahushua, we know why we call him. We say that that's Yah, and that let us know that that's his salvation. We break his name down, don't we? Yes, Yahushua means Yah's salvation. His name is what he actually did. He was actually definitive toward his name. Yahushua meant something. It means that I am Yah's salvation. If Yahuwah was going to deliver us, he was going to give us salvation. Well, when we saw Yahushua, we saw the literal figurative meaning, literal meaning of the name salvation. We saw it literally, figuratively. Y'all got it? Latin. Let's see. This what you need to know. Now, don't forget who gave you the name Jesus, the Latin. Now, New Latin from Latin, swine, hog. Let's see, can we break down the J-E? See, I know we'd have read that guy in that, what was it called, true follower. They'd have said, oh, you follow. I'm not following nobody else. We just want to make sure what we believe in. Right. We served Jesus for how many years? That's all I know. G, the first thing they taught me. Now they taught me. Then they taught me that he was Baptist, and John was Baptist. And then we learned there was no John. Then we learned there was no Baptist. All we learned is what they told us, and people accepted. They put it on the name of the church. Everything we got it from our oppressor. The way we treat each other, we got it from our pastor. They got it from our religious leaders, from our captive. They the one that taught us to put the divide between us by putting certain slaves in certain occupations. So you look down on certain slaves. The house Negro looked down on the field Negro. The Negro that sat inside that shoed the horse, the blacksmith looked down on the field Negro. So all we had was discrimination. So they knew when they let us go, the divide had already happened. They knew we could still come to. Listen, don't you know white people smart enough, before they would sign anything that constipates you, what it emancipate, constipates you? Because you stuck up now. You think he freed you, he stuck you up. That's all you're a stuck up nigga. Now, he gave them stuck up nigga paper. He knew you'll never get anywhere. He's the only man that can say let you go and knew you had nowhere to go and gave you nothing. Come on. And made you look like you like slavery. That's right. Don't you know how many white people go around and justify themselves and their parents by saying, you know, when emancipation came, when they let slaves go, you know how slaves stayed there. That meant they must, I see my parents vote for it, they treated them right. No, they didn't, they had nowhere to go. That's right. When you got babies, you got infants. Right. When you got elderly, you got injured. Where you going? That's right. Where you going? Although your situation is detrimental to you, where you going when you don't know where to go? You never left a plantation. That's right. So where you going? East, west, north, or south? Niggas didn't even know direction when they left there. Right. And white folk would justify themselves by saying that Negroes stayed. We didn't stay. We were still studying the forced labor. And when we stayed there, things weren't still equivalent. Supposedly they told you that what we were going to do was called sharecropping. We do the work, you pay for the produce, and you take it to the market, and you come back and we divide the spoil. But when he came back, we were still left empty-handed. Right. So slavery was never abolished. That's right. It's never been abolished. No. They rather give white people shares in the company when they work for them. Right. They didn't give us shares in the company. Nope. Look at all these great, look at Jim Beam, and look at all the all these high-end liquors they got. You know who discovered them? Yep. A nigga did it. Yep. Oh, Jack Daniels, a nigga discovered it. You know there was actually a black man that made that liquor. He gets no rep. They just came out last year and decided to put a picture of him on the bottle. Oh yeah, that's his claim to fame to his family. A picture of you on the bottle. We already had that on the Aunt Jemima bottle. How that worked out for us? That nigga done put us on grits and syrup. And how that worked out? The white man show you, I put your face on it, you still won't get nothing. That's right. We don't need to put our face on there. We want what's rightfully ours. And the only way to get it, we got to establish it for ourselves. Then we found what the J-E, let me say. Oh, French, word. I was J-O, that's right. The J was made up, which actually comes from the Latin word eos, which was the informal way of saying ego, which also means I. But so that means I pig. I guess apparently him. So his J-E, which never existed, the J is one of the later, it's the one of the Johnny come lately of the alphabets in the first place. And so that he gave it to you, they told they actually put it to try to take away the I. The I is actually a vowel point anyway, of what they're trying to use for the Y, which was formerly a way of saying ego. So I guess it's a pig's ego. So the man that came and saved me, the man that died for me, I'm gonna call the man a pig's ego. That's what they got you saying. What you think the purpose of trying to get you to defame this man for? To try to make sure that you won't get delivered. See, this is the thing why a lot of our people left religion, why a lot of people don't come to religion, because nobody never told us the truth. Everybody come in and pack us in a bunch of lies, then rape our pockets. They get us a whole lot of singing, get us to roll on the floor, get us to shouting and hollering and sweating and bring the ushers and the ammonia out. Then after that, they make a fool out of us. And we never get no real deliverance. Let me tell you, deliverance is not just us being delivered to be saved to go and be with him. We get a form of deliverance him.
Come on, that's right, that's right.
If you can't do nothing for me right here, I don't know how you're going to help me later.
That's right.
That's just, it doesn't make sense. If I don't see something from you now, what am I looking for later?
Right.
The Negro hoping in something that makes absolutely no sense. I have to see a form of it in order for me to believe in it.
Right.
When we watch the speech, it's so imperative we pay attention of the culture and the things that he showed us. It were things that we were accustomed to, that we were knowledgeable of. So in order for us to know freedom, we had to already be a partaker of it. Y'all got it? We had to have some knowledge of it. We had to be able to see it in actual working so we'll identify it when we see it again. Sometimes in a criminal case, they might bring out something happened, a murder, a robbery, or a kidnapping. They might have a picture of a suspect and they'll show it to you. And that actually does it look familiar to you, right? So when we look at Jesus, he looks familiar to us with salvation. Not at all. He looks more familiar to us to captivity. Let me see a picture of Jesus. Give me one of them pretty ones. Well, give me all of them. They can't make up what the man looked like. I can't figure out if it's Matthew McConaughey or the Mexican guy that played in Jesus Well. What's the name of that movie they watched? What's the other movie they had? Passion. I never even watched it. I didn't watch it. I refuse to watch it. They can't watch you no movie, can't show you no movie without telling you no lie. They can call it true or authentic. Look at which one of them is it? Matthew McConaughey? Who is it? Which one of these guys is it? I can't figure out these guys been with Paul and Oaks. I can't figure out who these guys are. Who they got him? I thought I seen they got a homeless shelter. I ain't gonna lie, this guy here look like he came to serve him one time. He had on some shades. All right, y'all playing me dead. This is how they give you. This is what they give you, man. Look at these pictures. That's how they induce you and get you on your knees and get you praying and get you believing something that's not true. Hold on, let's slow down, roll on. Who is that joker with the hair, man? Come down. Who is this? Jesus with a Roman emperor cap on. Does that make sense? Who you sell this to? You sell it to people with stupidity. This makes absolutely no sense that this man would look white. It doesn't even make sense. But they'll sell it to it because they know we're not capable of going back to research and look. What we were taught when it came down to God. You don't question God. Somebody died. Why my mama died? You don't question God. Why my dad died? Why my mom just, you don't question God. That's all they tell you, you don't question. They tell you that because they don't know. You start asking questions, you're going to put them on the defense. How many of y'all were told you don't question God? You don't that makes sense. Why did Abraham question him? If that's true, you don't question. Why did Abraham question him about going and destroying Sodom and Gomorrah? You don't supposed to question him. Almost questioned him. When he told him he was going to destroy Yasharal, he said he's small. Where is he going to rise from? If you destroy him. Why did Musa question him? When he told him he was going to come down from the mountain, he was going to destroy all of us. And Musa questioned him about it. That people knew you delivered us. And if you destroy all their people as one man. They only tell that to people that don't think. These people question all the time. These people put you in this derision you in. I'm trying to wake us up, get us conscious. Conscious always considering our situation is enough to keep the Negro conscious. To show why we can't afford to be drunk and high and laid up nowhere, because there's always a system working against us. If you just watch these two court cases, these are the two court cases that they're showing you on TV. How many you don't see? Come on. How many court cases you don't see? How many you not? How many of our young kids are locked up in prison? You talking about salvation? When are we going to go get our kids? If the Negro want to see how powerful it is, when these people come and take your kids and you can't do nothing. You can't see them, you can't talk to them, and they keep them. White kids gonna get access to their parents. White kids gonna get access to a good attorney. White kids gonna get access to judges that's gonna be lenient to them. White kids gonna get prosecutors that's gonna be lenient to them. White kids gonna get police out there gonna lock them up that's gonna be lenient to them. Show me that video, boss. We on my other savage, those little nice little white kids in Florida with the guns and the police out there talking them down. You know the video where he would shoot back at them? Pull that one up. I just want you to I want you to think about when you see, is this a reality for you? If it's not a reality to you, why are you still a part of the system? We either can change the system from within inside to make it fair, or either we break away from it. That's the only two solutions. Either we can change it from working on the inside of it to make it fair for everybody, or either we break away from the system. I don't want to pray about it. I already prayed about it. How long you been praying? Exactly. It's time to do something. I'm not saying prayer is ineffective. Prayer is ineffective if you don't have no effort. Prayer is ineffective if I don't do nothing. Make me get up and make me walk again. Try to get up and walk. You put the effort. Right. If you got the will and the effort, I'll try to support you. That's right. But if you're going to sit here, you know, for me to do it all, you can stay where you at. That's right. Hello? Yes, sir. This is a reality. Can y'all see it? They can't see it on the television at home. Oh, okay. This a video? He's trying to get it. Pelos? What one? Oh, teen shot by police. We already know what color that is. I think this is it right here. Is this it? That's gonna be different. I think it's this one right here. Whoever bad. I wanna say this video. Because I think he wound up shooting the girl when she came outside. Will they play?
Neighborhood, deputies say they had no choice but to return fire after a 12 and 14-year-old started shooting at them. And one of those kids was armed with an AK-47. This happened last night at a home along Enterprise Osteen Road, east of I-4. Mark Lehman is there live for us this morning. And Mark, deputies say they tried for hours to de-escalate this.
Yeah, the sheriff says deputies made several efforts to try and calm things down at this home here last night. But on every occasion, the sheriff says deputies were met by gunfire from the children who broke into this home. The sheriff expressing disbelief over what happened and outrage over what he calls a failed juvenile justice system.
This is something I've never seen in 35 years of policing.
The Volusia County Sheriff's Office surrounding a home in Enterprise on Tuesday where they say two children, just 12 and 14 years old, opened fire on deputies.
And here's an indication of a 14-year-old and a 12-year-old have it so bad in life that they're going to defy law enforcement and engage them in a gun battle.
Sheriff Mike Chitwood says the children ran away from a group home, a place they responded to nearly 300 times last year.
What the hell is the Department of Juvenile Justice doing, sending these kids to places that can't handle them?
According to investigators, the 12-year-old boy and 14-year-old girl broke into a nearby home where they found a shotgun and AK-47. Chitwood says the deputies were met with gunfire as they tried to de-escalate the situation.
But they took rounds, multiple rounds, before they were left with no other choice but to return fire.
The girl was shot by deputies and rushed to the hospital. The boy was then taken into custody after surrendering.
Thankfully, I have deputies who are going home to their families because they knew what to do. They were well trained.
No deputies were injured in the gunfire, and we're told the 14-year-old girl is stable after undergoing surgery for life-threatening injuries. Both children are now facing felony charges. As for the group home they ran away from, today we are looking into its history, and we'll keep you updated with what we learn. For now, reporting live in Volusia County,
That's not what I want, but that's fine.
News 6.
That's fine. That's fine. That's good. You got what I wanted? Oh, let me say, then one more shot.
The Volusia County Sheriff says in 34 years of policing, he has never seen anything like this. Fire started.
Don't make me do this. Don't do this.
Police say the kids fired several times from a patio window, with the boy telling investigators the 14-year-old girl likened the shooting to the video game Grand Theft Auto. But when they challenged deputies outside, law enforcement says they were forced to fire, striking the girl around 7 times.
Get up on her, get up on her. Greg, you get that rifle?
Before rushing to save her life. This video blurred by the department.
They did everything they could to prevent either of these kids from getting injured.
I am so proud of what they did. They did everything humanly possible and above and beyond.
That's good.
At one point, one of the deputies tossed his...
The reason why I wanted y'all to look at that, just always consider, we can hear them saying how they took multiple rounds for hours. How many times they take rounds from us for their shooters?
That's right.
How many times? We don't even get a round off. We don't get to have a weapon, show a weapon, licensed weapon before we shot. These kids shot, and they were called on 911, called them. They didn't show on that tape, telling them do not shoot back. They were told on the radio, do not shoot. While they were being fired at and they were behind trees. Anybody in law enforcement will tell you this is the dumbest information ever. If you're firing rounds, then you're going to get return fire to cut you off. What about other people? What about people's homes?
That's right.
What about people sitting at home? They just shooting out the window. They could kill somebody, some baby sitting in a window. Some old person, some young person. But you see what effort, like they told you, as soon as she was shot, they rushed to save her life. See, that's the difference of how they treat us and how they do their own. This is why we either one or two things. Either we can change the system from the inside by being a part of the system so we can get fairness and get something that works for everybody, or either we break off from the system.
That's right. That's right.
It makes no sense. It makes no sense to stay. We already seen how these trials gonna go. We know how things gonna work out. These kids gonna get something. You can charge them with a felony. They juveniles. Depending on how it go, nobody was shot. That's what you gotta remember. They stole a gun, they broke it, but they juveniles. So when it come down to, I know a lot of people in prayer, they don't know that they're gonna charge them with juveniles because they didn't kill anybody. Juveniles break into homes all the time. Juveniles get guns all the time. None of the officers were hurt. These kids shot. These are troubled kids and they white kids. They'll get on the benefit of the doubt. Those kids will get a life out here later on. They'll wind up mass killing some more people. A group home, mind you, they told you, they done responded 300 times in a year. How does the thing even still, 300 times officers been there? So we know how that works. All right, we're gonna let them sign the cartos around and move forward, talk with y'all a little bit so we can get out of the way. All right, good man. So we signed the cartos Sarah. Means the sun that we'll stand and turn and face toward the east. And then we'll say a couple of words to Mr. Yahuwah, and we'll get ready and dive in the book and see what it does say Mr. Yahuwah. How about that? All right, come on. We'll all turn, face toward Mizrach. All right. Most High, Kudash Abba, which is the separated Father. Hadu, which is thanks, for allowing us to assemble one more Yom, which is another day, for sparing our Kai, which is our life, giving us an opportunity to be able to Yakra upon your Shem, which is call upon your name. Asking you to have Rekam upon us, which are mercies. Asking you to Baraka us, which is bestow a gift upon us, that we might have an understanding of your Dabarim, which are your words. We palal unto you, which means we ask that you allow your Debar, which is your word, to Shah and Marsha over our Basar and over our Nefash, which is over the rule over our flesh and over our souls. We look unto you for no other Yasha we know, which is no other deliverer. We ask you to Baraka those that had a law to be here but not able, which was a heart. We ask you to Baraka, all of us assemble here, that you might grant us the Ruach HaKadosh and those under the sound of my voice, which is the spirit of separation. That which you give unto them of whom you ahab, which are those that you care for and you love. We ask you to open our understanding that we might understand the Kitabim, which are the writings. We ask you to barak us that we might forever be with you, which is Alam. We ask that we prepare to move further, that you will search us and see if there be any Rasha Darak, which are any evil ways. Cast it from us and lead us into Arak, everlasting, which is the way of life. Let the debar of our paw, which are the words of our mouth, let the debar of our laws, which are the words of our heart, be acceptable in your which is in your sight. And as we prepare to move further, we palau, in which we ask that you take full control, that you get the kabod, which is the glory, the kabod, which is the honor, and the shem of Yahushua HaMashiach, we palau. Let us all say, Amen. All right, I'm going to talk to y'all here a little bit. Every week I tell y'all the same thing on what we need to do. It's a matter of when we're going to do it. It's not hard as people think. You know, in order for us to get our liberation, you got to get our people to a point to where they stop caring about this wretched life they got. You know that? That's the only reason we haven't been delivered. See, the white man has conjured to make us think that you actually have something, you own something. Everything you got, he can come and take. It's the same thing with slavery. I mean, I don't know why people think we didn't own them. We ain't had them. We were slaves. They had houses when they were slaves. But who could take them? Who houses were there? They had land when they were slaves. But who could take it? You got houses and land now. Who can take it? So you're still a slave. You still ain't in an ownership position where you don't have nothing that people can't take from you. See, when Yahushua spoke to us, he told us that which was in his hand, he said no man couldn't take it from you. That's what he said, nobody can. What do you have no man can't take from you? You know that your education. Nigga, I hit you in the head with a brick, you'll forget everything you know. Why would somebody repeat such a dumb, insolent, foolish statement like that? I hit you in the head with a brick, you're going to forget everything you know. Sitting around here, baby, you be sitting around eating Gerber baby food. Ain't these folks making no fool out of you. That's what we got to establish, something that people can't take from us. See, that's why it's hard for us to actually be a real proponent for America, because we know America won't be fair with us. It don't matter what we do to it, they still going to come back in some unjust way and come back and blame us for something. Or come back and hold us hostage to something. Or make us do something and we're going to have to give up our, have to give up our sign and give up our respect for ourselves. Ain't nothing America gonna let you get and let you keep your respect. Very few people of our color got something, they got the integrity. I'm one of the few people I got my integrity. I can lay down every night, I can get up and look in the mirror and I got integrity. That's right. I ain't sold out, I ain't opened my booty hole up and I ain't putting nothing in my mouth for nobody, white or black. That's right. I got integrity. I work for everything I got. White man gave me nothing. That's right. And if he give it to him, I'm gonna take it. That's right. If he give it to him, I'm gonna take it. I ain't not one of them niggas talking, don't give me nothing. Give me that and then some. Then I'm going to flip it, I'm going to run off with it. That's the nigga in me. I don't never want to, everybody need a little nigga. Even you need a little nigga in you. Everybody need a little nigga in them. Flip it and run off with it. Y'all got it? All right, look at the book. We start here at Romans 15:4. Simply because this is the foundation for what we use. This, what we're using right here, this is what we call Beth Mashiach. So what this is believed to be is the writings of, how our book was actually written before the King James Version came in. So you'll find where you'll see the middle script writing. This is middle script. The top is our ancient. Well, no, middle script. I'm sorry, middle. This is modern. This is the last script of writing that we wrote. This is an Aramaic script. Y'all got it? Y'all know that this Aramaic. This is the middle, and then we use the ancient. The ancient I like a little better, but it's kind of the same. Here, you'll find this is transliterate. This is when you write in order to enunciate this. This is how you write. Y'all got it? Which y'all already know this. So this is why we use this color-coded, so you can look at the English words for ka, called forever. So you see it's color-coded so you can see exactly what we're reading, how we're coming up with what we're saying. So it's important for our people to come back. And this is important because your book even tell you about this. He said he was going to restore to his people a pure language. So that's what we got to get. English is not a pure language. English is hypocritical. It depends on how you want. It can be tomato or tomato. It depends on how it is. It's
That's
different
right.
color.
That's right.
When it comes down to Elohim only had one way, and we only call him Elohim because he's the mighty one.
Yes, sir.
The mighty ones, right? That's why we're looking at the one with all the power. So we start here, so we got a foundation for why we read. This is Romans 15:4. This is the transliterated version, which means you write so you can enunciate it. Got it? All right, let's look.
For whatever Nikatab before.
Nikatab was written before.
Nikatab for our
was
alignment.
written to show us. We talked about in teaching, there should be demonstration. Y'all got it? We all had visual arts in school, right?
Right.
Did y'all have visual arts? Well, Malcolm, man, I know Malcolm had visual art. When he created the rock, he said, this is rock, Malcolm. He said, rock! Yeah, so y'all know about visual art, isn't that right? So that's how he taught us. So that's why a lot of times when he spoke about things we could physically see. Y'all got it? Things that we actually knew. And that's important for us. So whatever was written, Nikatab, before, was written, Nikatab, to show us. So that through
endurance.
That's right, endurance is patient, which means going through without giving way. Y'all got it? And it's a couple of things that have to happen to keep you from fainting or giving away. Let's see what it is.
And Nakum.
That's right, consolation.
Of the
consolation. So what's my reward if I don't fornicate, if I don't drink, if I don't get high?
Salvation.
If I don't be homosexual? What's my reward? That's the consolation, because the body will strive and call for a lot of these things. Mm-hmm. Especially if these are behaviors you had before, correct?
Right.
So then I need something to say, if I don't give away, it's because of the reward.
Right.
It makes no sense to tell me just go through, don't worry about it. That doesn't make sense. When my body called for a bill, called for a shot, I'm gonna go get it.
Right.
You ain't giving me enough unless you say you can give me something greater than what I'm going for.
Right. Right.
So that's consolation.
Right.
So I get that from the writings. Let's see what happened.
And Nakum of the Ketubim,
which is constellation of the writings,
might have Tikva.
That's why we use it. Because we understand that what was written before, the Christian church will tell you don't have to use it, but that doesn't make sense. It was only written so it could teach us, so it could show us, so that while we're going through, we don't give way, and that we get consolation from those writings, and that those writings give us a connection, which is tikva, a cord, an attachment. That's what they were looking for, a cord, an attachment. Y'all all right?
Yes, sir.
That's why we're here. Trying to examine all these things. Let's say that the 15th chapter right quick of the book of Yehukanan. They call it John. The reason why it's important to pay attention, the word John is actually a name for a person that gets prostitutes. Most people don't know that. That's what the name John means. It's a person that picks up prostitutes. We'll get it and say it's a biblical name because people make a fool out of us. The actual name is by somebody who picks up prostitutes. That's what you call them, man. You say you're a John.
Right.
Because you pick up prostitutes. So he gives it to you and put it in the Bible to make you think it's spiritual. That's how white people cover up their attributes. They'll take it as something wrong and negative, and he'll make it something positive just to make a fool out of you. But yet your book told you, warning him that called Rasha too, which is evil good, and he called good evil.
Right.
He told you your black skin is bad.
Right.
Nothing wrong with your black skin. It was dark before it was ever light.
That's right.
You know, so how was it bad? The man came and he said it was two.
That's right.
Did he not? Oh, what you got before you get there? He gonna give me 15. Yukanan, they call it John 15:1 is what I call. Jump over right quick and pick me up at Ba Rashit. It means, they call it Genesis. That's the Greek. Ba Rashit. Let's see what he tell her at 1 and 1. Ba Rashit. It means in the beginning. Or in the start, however you want to look at it. Ba Rashit. Let's see, 1 and 1. So it's important to look at how it reads. And I like the King James version, so that way you get an opportunity to see what he told you versus what was actually said. He said in the beginning, he'll say Elohim, he wants you to go with it. He wants to try to sell you off on something. Created the heavens and the earth is what he'll tell you. Ba Rashit. In the beginning. Ba Rashit. In the beginning. So he told you out here, he told us first thing he did, he bara, which means he created. First thing he did, he created. So we learn his work before we learn what he did.
That's right.
We learned his work before. He told us in the beginning God created, which stating out who did it. First he told us what he did, then he told us who he was.
Mm.
Hello? That's what we find. He told us Barashit, bara, which means Elohim, In the beginning, created Elohim. Who? The Shamayim, which were the heights, the expansions, and the Arats. That's what he did in the beginning. Let's see what he did. I want to find out if black bad. How about that? And the Arats was without form, would be Tahu, and void. What was that, Bahu? Bahu void, which was empty. And darkness, Kashak is the name for it. Kashak was over the surface, which was going to be the face of the deep. So over the Ma'im, the waters, it was dark. Correct?
Yes, sir.
And the Ruach of Elohim, they're going to tell you a spirit. Spirit is what you actually call the liquor store.
Right.
People don't, white people don't put liquor. They call it the house of spirit.
That's right.
How many of y'all seen that before?
Yeah.
But you go to church to get the spirit. Which means you go to church to get drunk.
That's right. That's right.
No one uses spirit in it. No one uses it in other way than the way they actually used it first. Because it was something that went in and it caused and it changed the behavior. That's right. They know when you went in that house that you obtained something.
That's right.
That's what they call it, a spirit. But here we learn the Ruach, which that name that you know, the Ruach of Elohim was moving. My Rekaf, which means it stood, it hovered, and it moved. Where? Over the surface of the Ma'im, which was over the face of the waters. What color was the water?
Black.
So what face he went over first?
Black.
Where was the white face at?
Wasn't there.
That's all I'm asking. The book just told you that his Ruach moved over the surface of the Ma'im, and he just told you that it was Kashab. The face was black. The water was black. That's why it makes sense when you go in that region, they got the Black Sea. That only makes sense. That's why you got areas like Niger. And you got the water because they call it actually stood for the nigger water. Because the water was the same color as the people. What happened? Okay, let me do this. You dirty. You filthy. You go get in the bathtub. What color water gonna be? Where did it come from? Why you think the water's black? Look at the people. Was moving over the surface of the mind. Let's see what happened. Let's see. Let's just see. 3. Then Elohim said, let there be or light. Let's make clear. All light is to make clear. The first thing they find light, they start thinking white people. Light just means to make clear.
Right.
That's all light is, to make clear. And there was, let's go with it was clear. Or. Let's see what happened. And Elohim saw that the or was
2.
It was 2 that things should be clear. And Elohim badal, which was separated. Y'all see that? He badal between the or and the kashab. He separated them. Okay? Let's see what happened. Verse 5. And Elohim Yakra, which is called Yakra, the or he called it Yum. They called day. And the kashab he called Layla for night. And there was evening and there was morning, one Yum. When did he, let's see what he did. Then Elohim said, let there be an expansion. So I'm trying to find when did he condemn the black.
He didn't.
So every one of them served a purpose. Everyone served a purpose. You wouldn't know things were clear until we came.
Right.
That's just being honest. You wouldn't know. Now we come along and now he has shown us the effect of how Kashak could be light. If light only makes things clear, when we come along to explain our existence in Elohim creation, then that means we're all over. Because how we get stuck on light is when we look at something what? Something white, something, well, of course, illuminate, but we tend to serve, let's like the white. What color them lights are? White. The lights are white. So when we see white people look right. When the only thing light actually is just to make something clear. Y'all got it? His words made things clear for us. So we will be able to distinguish between. So you can make decisions. So you can have a conscience. So you can decide. That's what our people never had an opportunity to do. Everything you got, you never had a decision in, you were given it. From going to church. How many of y'all had a decision in going to church? Your parents said, get up, we're going to church.
That's it.
Get dressed, we're going to church.
That's it.
Did you get to pick what church? Well, I want to go to a Alley Baptist church. You going wherever church your mom, your dad, or your grandparents go to. Everything you ever got, you was given. How many of y'all had a choice whether to go to school or not? You might say when you were a teenager, not originally, you went because they took you.
That's right.
So everything you went, you were induced into it.
That's right.
And you start to adopt and to accept. You never looked at the repercussion of your situation. Has education really gave us freedom?
No.
Has education gave us liberty? Has education given us rights? We're having trials about people that have been wrongfully killed who are going to turn out to be guilty. How do you convict the dead man?
That's right.
Ahmaud Arbery going to be convicted soon on him getting himself killed. Ahmaud Arbery going to be convicted. No trial. In the minds of whites and other blacks that subscribe to their belief, they're going to say he killed himself. Eric Garner killed himself. That's white people. And that's black women. What are you doing out there selling cigarettes? How many times y'all heard people justify our killing with, well, they shouldn't have been there? That justified. They shouldn't have been out there driving. How many them white kids shouldn't have been out there with no guns breaking in nobody else's house either, should they? And they living.
That's right.
Nobody praying for their demise and their death. Well, they thanking God that they didn't have to kill them. That they survived, that they rushed to save their life. And they're awarding themselves for saving white people. Won't they award themselves for not killing us?
That's right.
Because it'll be a false award. We'll go to Yeukanon right quick. Yeukanon 15:1. They call it John, but the name Yeukanon, and why it's important to understand the names, because the names have a characteristics. Yeukanon means that Yahuwah is gracious. So when we go to this book and people want to find out sometimes what people do, I remember as a kid, younger, I get trouble thing going on. You get the Bible, you just open them up and read somewhere, trying to find something. But the book is actually categorized where you'll know what you're looking for. If you're trying to find where Yahuwah was gracious, all you have to do is go to a book that's definitive about it. Yeukanon tell you that Yahuwah was gracious. Mm-hmm. What was our condition? Let's see something. Pick me up right quick at 1:27, 1:28 first, 1:29. And I'll come back here. Let's go to the first chapter right quick. One and 29. Let's see what he did. All right, listen.
28.
29 be fine.
Yes, sir.
Listen.
The next Yom Yeukanon seeth Yahushua coming unto him, and saith, Behold, the Lamb of Elohim, which taketh away the kata of the award.
Or we'll say he bears. He bears. Who bears? A feminine. A woman bears. A man can't bear no child. A woman can bear. A man can beget. Y'all got it? Because he'll plant seed. So we wind it in a feminine sense because that's how we will understand it. When we look at it, how many of y'all familiar with a woman being pregnant, having a baby? Sometimes, what's those? It's the agony, it's the pains of bearing the child. It's the suffering that she goes through in carrying the child. That's why you use a terminology like bear. Simply because we're trying to understand, just like a woman, she's carrying a baby. We're looking at somebody that actually carried. We can just say he carried our sin, but you need to understand it from a certain dynamics. You need to understand it from a woman that actually carries a child, for 10 months. Isn't that right? All the things she go through, the things that she do are more or less toward what? The child. Her eating, sometimes you say, I ain't never see you. She say, I don't know what it is, but all something crazy, it's because of the child. Mm-hmm. So we start to see Yahushua, we start to see him do certain things, it was because of the cravings. Mm-hmm. Isn't that right? He was carrying a child. And that's what we find here. The next day, he saw Yahushua coming, which is Yahuwah's salvation, and he said, Behold, the Lamb of Elohim, who bears the katim, or the kata, which is the Abari word for sin, kata. Kata means to miss the mark. Kata means to be a criminal. That's what it means. You're a criminal. Right. When you commit sin, you're a criminal.
That's right.
That's the purpose of him coming back with judgment.
That's right.
When you commit kata, you need to know what the word means. You didn't just do wrong, you missed the mark.
That's right.
There's been a level set that every individual has to meet, and when you commit kata, you missed it. It means you are a criminal. It means you are guilty. So now he told us the next day, he seen somebody who was going to bear the kata of the alam, the world. Guess what they realized? Yahuwah is gracious. Because every one of us should be carrying our own kata.
That's right.
Every one of us should be bearing our own kata. So when he saw Yahushua coming, he let the congregation, the Adah, know that this is the one who's going to bear the kata of the alarm. That's why it made sense to put it in this book. Yahukanan, because Yahuwah was gracious. He said, that's mighty night. To find out that you don't have to bear, you don't have to carry what you've done wrong. Somebody else has to carry it. When you say he was gracious?
Yes, sir.
See, they never even taught us the importance of the books or the names of the books. So when you go here, you're looking for how he was gracious to you. The mere fact that you don't have to bear your sin. 15-1. Right quick, I put 15-4. We'll go 15-1. Yahukanan, same book, he gracious. I just wanted to show you why it's so important. Oh, that's it. 15-1. Let's see what he told us. This is good conversation. Y'all know that? Yes, sir. Let's see what happened. Excuse me. Listen.
I am the Amat vine.
You hear that? I am the true vine.
And Abi is the husbandman.
So y'all hear that? And the Abi, he said Abi, which is the Abri word for my father.
Yes, sir.
Y'all got it? My father, Abi. Listen.
Every branch in me that bear not pari, he taketh away.
Y'all hear what he do? This makes sense to who? This makes sense to people who are familiar with being farmers or archery. Y'all right? What I'm talking about with grows archery. Am I calling it right? Archery. I ain't talking about who? Orchards. I'm sorry, orchard. Yeah. You shook your head. She looked. She shook her head. She said, "You almost shoot it." That's what she told me. Nah, you good. But that's right. Orchards. These are the people that's going to understand that. Now we're going to go back and see, now based off of what he's telling. Listen what he told you. Verse 1 right quick, and I'll come down to verse 2. Listen. I am the Amat vine, and Abi, which is my father, is the vine dresser. That's what he's telling you. He's the vine dresser. So you know what happened? That's the person that coming that'll prune, that'll cut back, that'll take away. He's the vine dresser. Y'all got it? Let's see what happened. Listen, verse 2.
Every branch in me that beareth not pari, he taketh away. And every branch that beareth pari, he purgeth it, that it may bring forth more pari.
So now he said, he shall remove every branch in me that does not produce pari, fruit. But whatever produces pari, fruit, he shall purify to make it fruit abundant, so it will produce even more fruit. Now, people who are also going to be familiar with this is people going to understand Barashit. Okay? Let's see something right quick. Go back to Barashit, chapter 1. They call it Genesis. Chapter 1. Barashit, they call it Genesis. Jump down. Let me see. Let's see if it's 12. Let me see. 12, maybe 13. Probably 13, 14. I put 12. I don't know. Let's say 11. Okay. Okay. So 11 is what I want. Okay. This is 1 and 11. Listen.
And Elohim said, let the arats bring forth grass, and herb yielding seed, and the pari, ots yielding pari after his kind, whose seed is in itself.
Okay, let me read this one, because it changes up from that. He's reading the King James version. I like people to hear it so you'll see the difference. Then Elohim said, let the alam or arats, the earth, sprout vegetation. Y'all got it? Plants yielding what?
Seed.
And fruit trees, pari, which is ots, the word for tree, ots. Pari, ots, on the arats, bearing fruit, pari, after their
kind.
Whichever seed in them, and it was
so.
So the people that understood about him being the vine dresser understood that he put somebody to make sure he kept it, to make sure everything kept a certain premise. Because in order for it to continue to grow, somebody had to be there to tell him to keep it.
Right.
So he told us that his Abba was the vine dresser, so was Adam.
Right.
That's why he was there. He put the each there to till it, to keep it. to make sure it will continue to vegetate, make sure it continue to sprout, to make sure everything continue to serve behavior. That's the purpose of putting you a ra'ah. They use pastor, which is a shepherd, to make sure things continue in a certain order. Because things don't just keep themselves. Why would he put them there? Because he needed something to make sure it mandated, to make sure things kept a certain protocol. And when he came and he saw that there was a branch that was on the tree and it wasn't bearing pari, what you do with it? Well, leave it alone. If God wanted it to grow, then God fix it. No, take it off. It's not producing.
Right.
Get rid of it. Get rid of it. Once you saw what the order is, every ox limb ought to be bearing pari.
Right.
So if there is a branch that's not bearing fruit, then take it down.
That's right. That's right.
If you find something that's not vegetating, that's not reproducing, then get rid of it because there's nothing in it. When you look at what he told you here, clearly look what he told you. Then Elohim said, let thee arise, sprout vegetation, plants yielding what?
Seed.
So it can continue. You can't continue without a seed. My last name is Smith. The only way for the Smith to continue, there had to be other Smiths.
Right.
We have to have other seeds. Once the seeds die out, then there's no more Smiths. The man was there to make sure that there was seed so it can continue. That's how you became the seed of Abraham, because he allowed us to continue to vegetate, to sprout on the arise. You know what a vine dresser can do too? My dad would do. He would tear off a piece of his plant, and he would go and plant it on a cup and move it and put it somewhere else, and put another place in the house. Yeah, he just take it, break it out, and transplant. That's what he did with us. That's why we still been able to keep up. That's how we still been able to keep apart.
Right.
We didn't just wind up here by accident. He actually transplanted us here. He tore some of us off and he moved us. That's why we're here. So we could continue. That's something you don't want to talk about, though, do you? Let's see what he told her. Go back over to Yehukanai. Now, give me just a little time. See, what they've done when they gave us this book, they gave us a whole lot of fairy tales. We never understood what he was telling us. We just knew what the people told. Because first of all, they tried to teach us, so they didn't even understand the culture of the language. When you understand the culture, there's nowhere in the world you understand the language. Everything he gave us were things that we were accustomed to, that we knew, that we used. We were familiar with the mentality of animals. A dog with a fold or a flock. So that's why certain times he would use certain references about us being sheep, which means we knew about the behavior of sheep. Sheep are not self-led. Sheep have to be led by a ra'ah, a shepherd. So he told us that we were his sheep. What did we already know? That you have to be led, that you have to be protected, that you have to be shown, you have to be guarded because of your vulnerability. Okay, let's look. This is 15:2. He shall remove every branch in me that does not produce fruit. But whatever produces fruit, he shall purify. Can we look at what purify means? I think yours said purge.
Yes, sir.
Because you can just read something and take it, but it makes sense if you understand what it actually says. I've been guilty of that. You hear words, you use words, but you don't really know what you're saying. So when you understand what the words are, then you got the real effectiveness of what the statement is saying to you. Oh, there go white Jesus. He everywhere. Okay, listen to that. Purify is remove contaminants from. That's what it is, or extract something from. Make ceremonially clean. That's what we're looking at to do. He's trying to extract something from us. Y'all got it? The things that cause that. So what do we do? So purging. People used to do that years ago in the holy church. They would get on the ground, call Jesus. G. They start foaming. Most of y'all young, you don't know nothing about that. They be on it. How many of y'all remember that? Know about that purging? They don't tell them. You come to church, you got to get it. Tell you. They call it tarrying. You come to tarry, so you get on your knee, call G. They say, say his name, say it like you call him like you want it. Spit come, then they say, you purging. That means the devil coming at you. Let's show you where they did it. They made a fool out of us. Because you keep talking fast, now your mouth gonna foam up, and you're gonna assume something that you actually ain't got. You really don't have, you can say anything, keep that, you respect, that's it, it's coming out, you're purging that devil. So this is the ignorance of how church has defrauded us. But you can understand something, you could tell that they had a little sense of knowledge because they understood about removing contaminants from. They just didn't do it correctly, but they understood that you needed to remove contaminants in order to get the Ruach HaKodesh that they'll call the Holy Ghost. They weren't completely ignorant now. How many of y'all remember that? They would tell you, that's how they say you get the Holy Ghost, you tear it. You purge, you got to get that devil out. So they understood a little, but not enough. So how do we purge it out? Because of the word. When the word comes and the word mandates a behavior are declared to be wrong. Y'all got it? Then we remove, we get it. That's the behavior you got. If it's a behavior you got a lie and you find the word comes and the word teach you that you can't be a kazab, which is a liar. So what do? We're purging. We're going to remove that from you. We're not just going to stop it, we're going to remove it. We want to get rid of it, that it don't exist anymore. Y'all got it? That's the purpose of what he was trying to do so you could continue. They would know this because of the things he taught them. When he took them from Mizraim, that they call Egypt, and planted them in their own land, he said so you could live and not not die. So you would continue. So what? I removed you from a place that contaminated you. What did you do in Mizraim? Pick me at the 18th chapter book of Luke. They call it Leviticus, but it's actually called Uyakra. It means he called, and he called. So that's something we need to look for. What the people say, well, what does he call for? Go to the book where he say he called. Uyakra. Say 18 and 1. Let's see. This Uyakra, they're going to call it Leviticus. See, the white man give you some. And see, that's called a Leviticus priest. That's not the name of the book. The book is called Uyakra. When we go through our books teach us Bereshit. What is Bereshit?
In the beginning.
In the beginning. Where they call Allah Shemut, they call Exodus. Uyakra, they call Leviticus.
He called.
Bamatbar, they call Numbers.
The wilderness.
Allah Dabarim, they call Deuteronomy.
And these were the words.
That's how we understand our first 5 books. In the beginning, these were the names. And he called in the wilderness. And these were the words. So we want to go find out what did he say, did he call us, and where we at. We can actually go back to the books, the writing, the scrolls, and see where we were. What was your condition? They go read a book called, how is a book called Numbers? Because you're going 1, 2, 3, 4, 5? Because white people get it because they're trying to count the years. It actually denotes where we were. We were in the wilderness. Who was in the wilderness first? Adam. After he did what?
Kata.
After he ate the pari that he was told not, after he committed kata, after he missed the mark. So when we got a book that we read that tells us that we were in the wilderness, what were we doing?
Kata.
We missed the mark. We were criminals.
That's right.
That's why he put us in the wilderness.
That's right.
Adam went there to show you your reference. When you look at the writers, when they tell you son of man, it's son of Adam. Ben Adam. Why? Because the word Adam means now that it means a kind. You are a kind. You are like. You are a hypocrite. You are a man. You are of a low estate. When we were in the Bamatbar, we was of a low estate. We were hypocrites. That's why he put us there. So now he called us out. Let's see what happened. This is Uyakra 18 and 1. And he called. Let's see what happened. That's 18 and 2. 18 and 1, listen.
And Yahuwah spake unto Moshe,
His
saying,
name is Moshe. I don't know why they folks call him. I don't know who Moses is. Moshe. Yahuwah spoke to Moshe saying, what did he say?
Speak unto the Banim of Yasharon.
And do what?
And say unto them,
what?
I am Yahuwah, your Elohim.
I'm your mighty one. Everybody else can have who they want, but I'm yours. All right, verse 3. Listen.
After the doings of the Arats of Mizraim, wherein ye dwelt, shall ye not do. And after the doings of the Arats of Canaan, whither I bring you, shall ye not do. Neither shall ye halak in their ordinances.
So we know what he was doing. He was purifying you. That's what he was doing, purify you so you'll be able to produce. Because the things you did in Mizraim was cutting you off. Mizraim had already implemented a law in that you were supposed to kill all your babies if they were male babies when they were born. Mizraim had you under hard test bondage. And Mizraim, you had to bear. Nobody was bearing for you. You had to bear. You had to carry. So when we came out of Mizraim, that was a form of deliverance for us. Now he was going to put us somewhere where we could continue to flourish and we can grow and we could bring forth more pari. Y'all got it? Which means he was going to put us in a garden. Just like they were in the beginning. All of the first growth we know and all of the first creation started where? In the garden, that they'll call the garden, in the land of Adon. So now we're going to replicate the same behavior. I'm going to put you somewhere where you can grow, but you got to be mindful of certain characteristic behaviors. That you can't do what you did in Mizraim, and where I'm going to take you, don't follow these people's behavior here.
Right.
What you were taught. When in Rome.
Do as the Rome.
Who told you that? A
White
Roman.
folks.
Ain't no Englishman told you. The Romans taught you that.
Right.
That means you obey and you comply with whatever Rome does.
Right.
But here he clearly told them when in Mizraim, do what Mizraim do.
Nope.
When you get to Canaan, do what Canaan does.
No, sir.
He told you don't do after their doings, because that's going to cut off your existence. That's going to cause a badal between us, just like light and Ar-Ur. Like Ar-Ur and Kashaf. Light and darkness. I'm going to put a badal between us. It's going to cut off your existence. Let's see what he told they did. Verse 4. Listen.
Ye shall do my mashpah,
His judgments.
And keep mine ordinances.
And you're going to keep my statutes. To do what?
Halak therein.
And
I am Yahuwah, your Elohim.
Let's see what he told us.
Ye shall therefore keep my statutes and my mashpah, which if a each do, he shall kai in them. I am Yahuwah.
So let me ask you a question. How many of y'all want to live? Matter of fact, stop. How many of y'all want to die right now? Now, put your hand, you don't want to die. He said, I don't know if it's a trick question. So now, what are we starting to think about, we look at? He said, now, if a man do what he say do, he said a man going to live by it. That's going to cause your existence to be prolonged. Y'all got it? The problem we got today with our people is our people want to live, but they hadn't learned how to follow certain protocol in order to live. How are we going to do it? By keeping his statutes and keeping his judgments. Which means when I declare something, that's what I want you to do.
Right.
When I deem something to be wrong or right, I need you to follow that protocol.
Right.
This is going to enhance your living.
Right.
But what we tend to do, I'm going to pray about it. I'm going to just try to do the best I can. None of these are criteria for being saved. None of these are criteria for you to have a long life. To do the best you can. You can't find that written nowhere. Hope and pray. None of these go together. He just told you what to do. So you shall keep my statutes and my judgments, by which a man may live by them. If he does them, I am Yahuwah. So you know why you're doing. Most people doing, I mean, I'm just doing it because I mean, that's what I know that's life.
That's right.
I don't want to just follow, just be followed. I want, see, you know the different way as a Christian, you sat, you looked, and you just daydreamed off on a whole lot of things. You really didn't know what you were doing, and the average person don't know.
That's
Why
right.
would they? Why would people sit down and look up words, and you just read the Bible and then let God do the rest? And that's why you're in the condition you're in. Versus this was all about aptitude. This is about understanding. It was never about just telling you something. You needed to understand the importance of why you don't do certain things, why certain things were put into play. Then he attached it to something that's most valuable to any one of us. A man to give away everything he got for his life. You got some money on you. You let me get all the money you got. That right? He right. Look at that nigga crazy. Now I put a gun in his head, and he know I'm gonna kill him. That nigga gonna be frowning, dropping everything, because you know he gonna look at, guess what he put on the line now? It ain't worth dying for.
That's right.
How many of y'all know anybody here been robbed before? Would you hesitate around? Yeah, I ain't try to play around. If somebody asked you for everything, did you play around like, I'm just getting, you knew they were serious, didn't you? And you wanted to hurry up and get it to them, correct? Is anybody in the same condition? Anybody that do that? So we understand that's why Yahuwah got us. He said, listen here, give me everything you got. You know what I'm telling you? He won't. Now, I want all your heart, all your love. I want all your mind. I want all your body. I want all your strength. Or you going to die.
Right.
Don't hesitate to give it to him.
Right.
Because he's serious.
That's right.
When Mushar recorded about him in the 15th chapter book of U'Al Shemut, they call Exodus, he said, Yahuwah's a man of war.
Yes, sir.
He let you know that don't play with him. Listen, the man specializes in killing people.
That's right.
He's a man of war.
Yes,
so
sir.
it made a difference when it come down, he asked me to do something. I know the urgency in complying. Simply because he's going to kill me if I don't give him everything I got. How many of y'all say y'all been robbed before? Let me you remember these words right here. Let me get some of what you got. Let me hold some. Who else robbed him? You don't have to give it up. If you say you don't want to give it up, I'm just going to leave. Did these sound similar to these conversations that y'all heard? Or these niggas want to give it up, they're going to kill you. I'll kill you. Give it to you think I'm finna die. What good is this? Mm-hmm. Don't you know when we got that mindset towards serving Yahuwah, what good is you holding on to relationships, to cars, to house, or other things when you gonna die and you can't take it with you? We're only using that so we can understand the importance and the urgency of when he's telling us to do something, it's to our benefit to comply so you can live. He told them something that they know. They know about, listen. So you shall keep my statute. This is him telling me something. And my mashpat, which is conjunction. By them, does them, I am Yahuwah. That made me do it right there because he said his name. What made me do it? So I don't kill you.
Right.
Oh, you mean do everything you say. See, when you put how my life out on, because then you made it serious.
Yeah.
You talking about me dying? When I start?
That's right.
What all you need done? Somebody trying to kill you, trying to get a nigga, man. I ain't finna go. I just bought these pants. You finna die with these pants.
That's right.
Are you serious? You don't waste no time because your life on the line. He had to do it that way so man would take it serious. Mm-hmm. Why would I respect it? So you shall keep my statute and my judgment by I am Yahuwah. That's enough for me right now. No, that's not enough. Something has to be a contingent. There's got to be a contingency involved. Like you dying. How many of y'all want to die? Then that's enough to make you do it. Let's see what he starts. So now, you told me that. That's fine. What are your statutes and your judgment? Come on, let's look down a little bit more. I just want to make sure we understand it. Now, any one of you shall approach any of his to uncover nakedness. I am Yahuwah. What does this mean? What does this mean? The fact that he told us not any of us should do this. We did it. We was in Mizraim.
Yeah.
We did it. Come on. That's what he tell. Why would he tell me this? You said after the doing the Mizraim and where I'm going. So the place where I'm going, what do these people do? They approach relatives.
That's right.
I need to know this. Let me see what happens. Verse 7. You shall not uncover the nakedness of your
Abba.
Of your father. That is
the nakedness
of
your mother.
You can't go in and look at your mama.
That's right.
You know what? I remember my mom used to work at a place called Bill and Cat. It's a restaurant. And the white lady that worked there, I remember she was talking to her friend. You know, they think you're a kid. You couldn't look when grown folks talk. You had to look like you wasn't listening. So they talk you. So if you don't look, that means you ain't listening. You look. I've been too far in and I said something. Like they were talking, and you be too far in, and they can't think of something, and you done called them that word. They look at you. Get your behind you. I remember, you know how many of y'all did you got in the spirit? Like, grown folks will let you say, if you shut up and look like you don't know what they talking about.
Yeah.
They be telling you a little. They'll look kind of cut and say, okay, I know what I'm talking about. But they catch you, I was in it so high, I done called them that thing for them. Why don't you look? Get out of here. I said, oh, good. I lost my place. So now when we look at this, he's trying to tell us how things are relevant and showing you how things and ownership of things. Your father's wife, which is your mother, that belongs to him, and that shouldn't be seen by anybody. I told you about this while my mother used to work at the place. I remember she was telling her friend at one time, the lady was telling her how she'll be in the bathtub and her kids will come in and sit on the toilet and talk to her while she be taking a bath. She just felt, you know, she was a kid, she was a white lady, she would do it. She saw her kids come in and she would tell her friend like, Josh said she'd be sitting there, said she'll be in the bathtub, and her kids say, come in and sit on the toilet and talk to her while she's taking a bath. But see, had they new statutes, They knew they couldn't be in there, and she was uncovered because that was the nakedness of his father's.
Right.
Watching his mother, that body belonged to the father.
That's right.
And you weren't supposed to see that. These are statutes that he set in place.
That's right.
Let's see another one. It's a little bit more. I'm sorry, I missed something. Oh yeah. She is your mother, which is the word for us is called aim. Because a mother is supposed to point kids in a direction. Go to your room, get your behind in there, clean up. How many of y'all remember mother doing that? The word, Abri word for mother is aim because you're putting them in a direction. Get in your room and get your behind there, sit down. Get your behind in here. You see what she's doing? She's directing. So now he's telling you you're not supposed to look at the director. You shall not uncover her nakedness. Let's see. And we'll look at some behavior, how that came. What else we got? The nakedness of your akuth, which is the word for sister. You shall not uncover the nakedness of your father's wife. It is your father's. So, he's telling you, your father go and get married and they ain't your mama. He ain't none of my mama. He said about your mama. He said, no, that still belong to him.
That's right.
So you're not supposed to uncover. How do we take this law on? Good. Barashit, chapter 49, right quick, verse 1. Y'all got to know where your law stem from. People, well, I don't get that. I know you ain't supposed to get it either. That's your daddy.
Reuben.
Hold on for a minute. If you could, once I done gave the answer, please say your Johnny come lately answer. That man come to lately answer, he think he be on it. You can't be wrong because I called the right thing. You said what I said. 49 and 1. 1. Let's just look at this. See, that's why we go back to Barashit, because this is in the beginning. This is where a lot of our law, our Torah for law, I like to use instruction because it tells us what to do. Y'all got it. When he told us not to uncover our father's nakedness, it's not just law. That told us what not to do. Okay? So this is 49 and 1. Listen. Then Jacob.
Kara unto his Beni U.
He called unto his sons, his Beni. The U is for his sons, and said,
gather yourselves together.
Assemble yourselves.
That I may tell you that which shall befall you in the last Yamin.
See that I'm going to let you know what's going to happen to you later on in life. Listen.
Gather yourselves together and Shama.
Hold on, they ain't moved yet. We want to gather this together.
Yes,
Roll
sir.
up a little bit more. All right, gather together and Shama for hear, which hearken. When we look at Shama, we want a Shama is hearken and do. You can listen and not do.
That's right.
Our goal is to hear and to perform. All right, listen.
Ye Beni of Yaakov.
The sons of Yaakov.
And hearken unto Yasharal, your Abba.
See that? He told, and listen to your father. Let's see what happened.
Reuben, thou art my firstborn.
That's what his name means, Reuben. That means he was the firstborn. The Rosh for the first, Ben for son. Reuben, it means, that's why he told Reuben. That's why he got named, because you were the firstborn. My who?
My Koach, and the beginning of my strength.
Yes.
The excellency of dignity.
And?
The excellency of power.
Yes. Let's see what happened.
Unstable as Maim.
You uncontrolled as water. You.
Thou shalt not excel.
See that?
Because thou wentest up to thy Abba's bed, then defilest thou it. He went up to my couch.
See that? What happened? And what else did he say? Did he say anything else about him? That's fine. That's all he said to him. He started telling him about his behavior, how he was unstable as water. Then he started letting him know what he did that could show his instability. The fact that you had gone up and you had looked at mine. You had uncovered my wife. It wasn't his mother he uncovered his wife.
That's right.
Y'all got it?
That's right.
Now, we first were told about uncovering who? Our mother. So where are we going to go now? Exactly. 9th chapter, book of Barashit. That's right. Chapter 9, verse 23. Don't worry about it, Pastor. That's why I'm here. I heard the yaka from your members.
Oh, no.
Chapter 9, say 20. 10, Yeah, 9 and 20. All right, listen.
Which one, 10?
9.
9 and
9 and 20, yeah.
Okay.
Let's sit down what I want.
Yes, sir.
Listen. Let's show
And
paper
Noah
down.
began to be an husbandman, and he planted a vineyard, and he drank of the wine and was drunken, and he was uncovered within his tent.
Y'all hear that? That's how you can judge. That's how we know we could drink. Because he had a vine, and he began to be a man that actually grew grapes. And what he did, he drank of the wine and became drunk. And what happened?
And was drunken, and he was uncovered within his tent.
The book tells us right here, hold on, scroll down. See what it said right there, uncovered. Here it says, and uncovered himself. Because y'all know sometimes you get drunk. How many of y'all got drunk? You get high, you don't want no cover on you. You say that thing, yeah, man, kick that cover off. That liquor heat you up. So he uncovered himself, listen, in the midst of his tent. But he was in his own place. Y'all get butt naked in the street. That's different. Right, verse 22. Listen.
And come.
I don't know why they want to name the man after pork.
The Abba of Canaan saw the nakedness of his Abba and told his two Akim without.
So now listen what you look at. Look who this is again. What's his name? And who he was?
The Abba.
The Abba of who?
Canaan.
What did he do? Guess what you were told in the 18th chapter book of Uyakra?
Don't do that.
And not to do after the doings of Mizraim and Canaan.
Right.
Because they followed the same ritual practice of their Abba.
That's right. Yes, sir.
He saw Nuach's wife. He saw his mother laying there.
That's right.
That's why he told you that, because these were behavior. Guess what happened? Fathers, typically behavior follow down to the child.
Right.
These are traits. Why you thought he was trying to prepare a seed for Abraham? Somebody that would keep the same. If all the look at, later on, you hearing about the land of Canaan did this. Who the first person that did it? We learned about their father. So it was important to learn about Abraham and why he was trying to establish a seed and keep it clean. Keep it pure. Keep it from contaminant. That's why he was giving us the Debar, so it will purify us. Let's see something right quick. See if there's one Aleph Kaf. They call it 1 Peter. Aleph Kaf. So 120. 120, y'all. Aleph Kaf. Let's see something. Because we talk about purge and purify, correct?
Yes, sir.
Kaf is his name, not Peter. Kaf, like a fist. He made him solid, like a rock. Kaf, 1. Make it 119. That'll be fine. Let's say what I want. Make it 18, since we're him. So people will know what redeemed you. Okay? All right, listen. 1 and 18. Aleph Kaf, they call 1 Peter 1:18. Listen.
For as much as ye know that
He
ye were
said,
not.
because you know that you were
not redeemed with corruptible things, as silver and gold, from your vain conversation, received by tradition from your aboth.
which handed down, let's see, because you know that you were redeemed, not with corruptible things, not with silver or not with gold, from your vain conduct, which handed down from your Abba. Let's look up what the word redeemed means. Redeemed, ED means already happened, past, either one. Look at redeemed. Okay. Compensate for the faults or bad aspects of something. Y'all hear that? Compensate for the fault. That's what you get if you're in a car accident. You get hurt, you off from work, you got to take medication. What the insurance company does is give you a check for compensation. Meaning you lost time from work, you lost your ability to be able to do, so therefore you should be compensated. Well, that's what redeemed. Now he's saying about you being redeemed, you being compensated for a fault or bad aspect of something. Let's go back over. Because you know that you were redeemed, not you were compensated for a fault or a bad aspect, but not with corruptible things, not with silver, and not with gold, from your vain conduct, which handed down from your Abba. Let's see that? It makes sense, handed down from your Abba. Who we gonna use? Canaan. We just said, you see how you think these people did what they done? These are behaviors. Now it makes sense in the 8th chapter of the book of Yukonai, 8:44, you are of your Abba,
the devil,
Satan, and the lust of your Abba.
You do.
What was he? From the beginning.
From the beginning.
And he won't stay in the abode in the truth. Why? Because ain't nothing
No
in
truth
it.
in them. That's right.
And he told, so when you tell lies and you don't stay, who you think your Abba is?
Satan.
So that's what he's trying to tell you. Now what he did, I compensated because you know what's not fair? That you should suffer because of the deeds of your father. That's a bad aspect. Think about it, that's a bad aspect. So guess what he had to do? I redeemed you. Because how the Torah came, you were supposed to pay, I'll visit the iniquity of the fathers on the benin, on the children. So now what happened? In redeeming you, I took you away from that curse. You understand that? That's a bad aspect. You're going to hold somebody, just say my daddy shot his daddy years ago. I wasn't even, I wasn't even living. I come along, his whole family hate me and they going to want me to pay for it. Should I really pay for that when I didn't do it? I had no knowledge of it. I had no action. I had no part of it. Him and his whole entire family want me to pay for it and suffer. They want Austin to pay for it. They want AJ to pay for it. They want Deuce to pay for it. Why should we pay for something that he did? Then we need somebody to redeem us from that bad aspect.
Right.
That's how they saw Yahushua. Because we're sitting here and we're going to pay for something that we had absolutely nothing to do with. Mm-hmm. That's how important redemption was to them. Let's see what he told us at 19. But
with the precious dam of Mashiach, as of a lamb
hold on, I'm sorry. Yeah, precious blood, as of a lamb.
Without blemish and without spot.
Okay, it reads different. But with the precious dam, the word for blood is dam. Dam, the word dam, they'll tell you about being dam. People don't know the time. The word is actually dam, that means blood. As of a lamb unblemished, that has no spot. How important this is to us?
Very.
Because we offer sacrifice, we were told that they couldn't have no defects, no alterations. They couldn't have no handicaps because they were being put to try to redeem you and try to pay for a bad aspect that you had.
Right.
And you couldn't do it if you gave something that had a fault because you were paying for a fault. It don't make sense to give me something bad for something bad. You only give me something good for something bad. So I can forgive you for something bad.
Right.
So it only made sense that you knew what he required. So when you offered the lamb couldn't have fault and he couldn't have no defect. That's why it was important that Yahushua couldn't commit kata. Because he was going to redeem you from kata.
Right.
And if he commit kata, he couldn't even save himself, let alone you.
That's right.
Y'all got it?
Yes, sir.
So it was important that he told her, so he told her with the precious dam, because with offerings, we offered the blood of them. Because it was a life. When you could, the law was the wages of sin, which is compensation for sin, is what? Moot. That's going to cost you your life. Guess where your life at? In your dam, in your blood. So this only makes sense, but with the precious dam, the blood, equivalent, as mean to the same, as of a lamb unblemished, that has no spot. Right quick, give me all our Dabarim 17:1. They call it Deuteronomy. I'm trying to get ready to finish y'all up. Make sure you got understanding.
Yes, sir.
Allah Dabarim 17:1. I want you to just take it because I said it. I want you to take it because you know what the book says.
That's right.
Sir.
This is the 17th chapter of the book of Allah Dabarim. They call it Deuteronomy. And the word means, and these are the words. So this is what we want to know. We want to know what's the word. And all right, listen.
Thou shalt not sacrifice unto Yahuwah thy Elohim any bullock or sheep.
Who?
Any bullock
or
sheep.
We just happen to be reading about a sheep.
That's right.
Now we're talking about, let's find out about, so right now, for what we know, we ain't supposed to offer no sheep or we're not supposed to offer no olive.
Right.
from what we know right now.
Right.
You ain't supposed to offer one until he read. Tell her what else.
Wherein is blemish.
That has a defect. What else?
Or any evil favorness, or that is an abomination unto Yahuwah.
It's a detestable thing to Yahuwah, your Elohim, because that's what I blamed you for. I said you had a defect. Why would you come and offer me a defect? I'm saying that you have a defect. You got something wrong with you that I utterly hate. So now bring me something that I like.
Yeah.
Guess what I like? Something with no defect and no fault. Something with no error. Something that shows no form of anything that's displeasing to me. That's what I like. So now when he told you you were redeemed by something he liked. That's right. Because you were set in a situation that's just a bad aspect for you. You were more or less caught in a derision. I got a law set up that said, I visit the sins of the fathers upon the children. To the third and the fourth generation. So you were stuck. So there was a need for someone to come and to redeem us, to make up for a bad aspect, because that's a bad deal. That you pay for something that you had nothing to do with. You walking with you to pay for all these dishes. You're saying, I just got here. Yeah, but somebody in your family years ago, your great-great-granddaddy had busted up all these dishes. Who? I'm not paying. Yes, you are. You out here doing rabbit mind. No, I'm not. And I can show you paper right here in law that said that if the fathers tear up anything, if they have children that come along, they're supposed to pay for it. You're like, what kind of junk is that? That's the law. Now, what you can do, if you can get something that can redeem you, you don't have to pay it. Which meant our fathers had all of us sentenced to death. Our father, we were sentenced to death. That's just it. And unless someone came to redeem us. Make sense?
It's plain.
So y'all understand, you shall not sacrifice to Yahuwah your Elohim an olive, they put, or a sheep, which has a blemish or any evil thing in it. For that is detestable things to Yahuwah, your Elohim. Give me the next verse before I go back and finish. If there is found in your midst, in one of your towns, which Yahuwah, your Elohim, is giving you, a ish or a isha, that's a man or a woman, who does what is evil in the sight, which is the of Yahuwah, your Elohim, by transgressing his covenant, should be my all. Listen. Oh, it's Barath. If there is found in your midst, is this the same I just read? Yes. Okay, I'm finna say, what happened? And has gone and served other mighty ones, those other deities, you don't serve, and worship them, shakar them, shakar them, worship them, or the Shamash, the sun, or the Yarik, the moon, or any of the Shamaim, they use heavenly, those are Greek, host, which I have not commanded. Let's see what happened. And it is told you, and you have heard of it, then you shall inquire thoroughly. Behold, if it is true, and the thing is confirmed, that this detestable thing has been done in Yasharon. Let's see what they want me to do. Then you shall bring out that Ish or that Ashah who has done this evil deed to your gates. That is the Ish or the woman, which is the Isha, and you shall stone them with stones, and they shall moot. He said you're supposed to kill them. That was your Torah. You ain't gonna believe what we did. How many of y'all used to celebrate Easter? You go up and watch the sunrise, or go to sunrise. So they would celebrate worshiping the sunrise. People all this stargazing. He said, any of us that did that stuff, that's never been, we never had no book to tell us to do that. Never. We've never been told to do that. But we followed because of bad premises. Because of people were told something. Our captors gave it to our fathers. Our fathers took on this wrong rhetoric, and they passed it to us. Everybody knows Sunday you're supposed to go to church. Easter come on, you go to the early service. You ain't gonna know nothing. You probably be there. It's Easter. You be at 8 o'clock, 7:30. You have a 7 o'clock service. You try to have when the sun come up because you're celebrating the sun rising. These were things he told us were contrary. Y'all got it? See, for us, we, in a sense, don't celebrate it as part of our worship. That we actually, Shakar, that we actually do Mizrach, which is we represent how we face the east. And the reason why we face Mizrach, which they take, I think, comes from Zarok. That we'll say, right, which is shine. That's what it actually, because when the Shamash goes up, it shines. Yeah, it is. Mizrach is what we actually, that's what it called. That's why we turn and we face toward the east. Because we were giving reference to the Shamash when it rides to that direction. When he brought us out, he actually put us where the Shamash rises first. So the way they call Asawa, the Greeks came and gave us, that's not actually our religion. So you'll find some people use like, you use Orient. Like Oriental, it does not refer to Chinese people, it refers to a region. Jordan, Jericho, it's actually Orient. Means that's the area where they rode. When he brought them and they crossed over Jordan, it was important that he brought them there because they were where the Shamash rose first. That's why he put them on the other side. It was in symbolism that you were where the Shamash actually looked on. When Yahuwah told you these things, let me say, stroll down right quick. 4. Let me say that 4. Let me say something. Hold on. 3. Let me say something. Just hold on. Let me say 2. Let me say something. Listen, if there is found in your midst, the middle of you, in one of your towns, so you have more than one, it's plural, correct? Which Yahuwah, your Elohim, is giving you, a Ish or a Isha, who does what is evil in the of your Elohim by transgressing his covenant, which means I put you where I could see you. You know, sometimes your parents say, come on, get your behind on here where I can see you. So no matter what I'm doing, you're in, you see, y'all remember how many y'all remember, then we know how parents tell you, set your behind where I can see you. You tell them, put them where it don't matter where you at. So you see, all of the towns were put where he could see you. Mizrach. So you were where the Shamash ride. That's why when we pull out, we acknowledge it because we want to be in his sight. So he said, if you find a Ish or a Shah, that will, a man or woman, that will commit one of these violations in my sight, then you kill him. You bring him to the gate and you kill him. The problem became him, the people that were going to do the killing were the same people doing the wrong. So I had to take that out your hands. Had to take it out your hands. Come on, finish this olive cough right quick. I'm going to get ready to let y'all go. Y'all getting an understanding? Yes, sir. Let's say 1:19. They call it 1 Peter, but it's olive cuff. 1:19. Listen.
But with the precious dam of Mashiach,
as
of a lamb without blemish,
unblemished,
and without spot.
That makes sense now, don't it?
Yes, sir.
Not because what they were going to take to redeem you. It had to be something that was going to be pleasing.
That's right.
In the dam of the Mashiach. Come on. 20. Listen.
Who verily was foreordained before.
Who was known in advance, indeed,
before the foundation of the Elam, but was manifest in these last times for you.
See that? That was it. So, you know, fourth thing, he just came into a situation, he just died unexpectedly. No,
nah, sir.
He already knew in advance.
Come on, Reed, that's right.
The man knew in advance, indeed, that was of a truth, before the foundation was set.
That's right.
Before this was laid, this was already ordained, predestinated, but was manifest, which means it was shown, it was revealed to us when? In the last Yamin for your sakes.
Yes, sir.
Y'all got it? So now it had to be shown because I'm teaching you. So I had to manifest. I had to let you see it. Let's see what he told us.
Who by him do Aman and Elohim that come up from the moot and gave him kabud, that your Amunah and Tikva might be in Elohim.
Okay, let me read this. Who by his paw, by his mouth do believe, because that's how you believe. No, it's important he said, who by his mouth do believe. How are we going to refer this? How you gonna?
They believe in you, believe in me.
He already done beat you to it. So then Amunah come by hearing. And hearing come by the Debar Elohim. See, when you see stuff, you just don't take it. You take it because you can reference it. I don't have no I can't use this if I can't reference it. Who by his mouth do believe. So then Amunah come by hearing by the Debar Elohim. That makes sense. Elohim. That raised him, which be Kum. Where did he put him? No, you different. No, yeah, Kum is different spell. Him up from the Mut, the dead, and gave to him kabod, glory, so that your amunah, we don't believe in faith. Faith is something, hope for evidence of things unseen. We have amunah, which means it supports or build up. And tikva, we don't believe in hope. That's white folks stuff. Hope don't even make sense when you look it up. Or in, which means accord, it gives an attachment, or in Elohim. Let's see, 22. This is what we want. Listen what he's saying.
Seeing you have purified your nefesh.
Oh, guess what? And guess what you did when you purified? You actually gained. See, we talked about him talking about every tree in him that bring forth fruit. What did he say he do? So guess why? So he can do what? Guess what he said? Seeing you have gained because you purified. Now you get more fruit. Now you're producing.
Right.
Gain. So when you look at that loss, because I'm getting rid of drink, I'm getting rid of lying, I'm getting rid of adultery, I'm getting rid of fornication, I'm getting rid of homosexuality, I'm getting rid of drugs. So guess what? I'm gaining because he purified me so I can do more.
Right.
Your nafash through the what?
Shama.
Through the ruach. What did you say? Through shama?
It says in obeying.
Oh, okay. Through the ruach. Okay, in hearing. That's right. Shama. Hearing. To
Shaming the amat through the ruach unto unfeigned.
Hold on. Truth in the brotherhood that is not flattery. Yours said vain. Feign.
Yes,
Feign
sir.
pretended. Flattery. Let's look up flattery. I want to see why he used flattery. And it said feigned, right? F-A-I-N?
F-E-I-G-N.
Oh, they spell it. Yeah, that feigned. Yeah, I know it's more than one of them. No, you talking about that one. I didn't talk about that other one. Yeah, that other one, yeah. Yeah, flattery. Excessive and insincere praise. That makes sense then. Flattery and feign. Feign means pretended. He put flattery with me, excessive, insincere praise, given especially to furthers one's own interest. Make sense? He says, seeing now that you actually got more gain through you purifying yourselves. And not through you sitting around doing vain, you know what I'm saying, through feign or flattery. Trying to do something to just try to further your intent to do something or your interest. Come on back. In him, and their ahab, so that you
ahab one another with a pure law fervently.
Okay, he put fervently with a pure law. That makes sense. So now we see the importance of why we do what we do. Our goal is try to obtain salvation.
Right.
And obtaining salvation, we have to understand, first off, what are the ritual, what are the calls, what are the criteria for us to obtain salvation. The first thing I have to understand, are we in need of salvation? That's the thing. Why a lot of people don't ever get it, because a lot of people don't feel like they're in need of it. What's your current situation? You might be doing all right. You might be fine. Don't mean you ain't dying. Don't mean you don't need help. It's important to recognize where you're at all sorts of all points of times of the day. And realize everybody just don't work for people because a lot of people just don't know they need it. A lot of people just feel like, what do you do? I remember my dad telling me, he said, he said, none of us don't know where we're going. He said, all you can do is just try. I said, I marked them off in my book. I said, it's sad to live that long and have that kind of understanding. He said, none of us don't know where we're going. So I just realized he just went to church. He ushered. He was a faithful usher. Get there early, still to catch the bus. He leave for whoever he leaving. Get there, he gonna stand on that door. But the fact that he stood in that door, somebody probably watched him and thought, that man not dedicated. That man not serious about it. Not at all. He was just going through a practice. That's what most of us do because we don't take the urge of the serious to realize, to understand why am I coming? What am I trying to achieve? Is this really important to me or am I just going through the motions? At the end of the day, I want you to consider something. There is a person inside of you. Don't get caught with the flesh one. Look in the mirror. Look at that person. That's not the person you need to save. It's a deeper person on the inside. That person hurt. That person lost something. that person is negligent, that person needs something. And a lot of times that person will put on things or wear things or buy things to cover up for that hurt that never ever gets solidified. You have an opportunity to better yourself. Be true to your own self and know this is something you need. But you got to be willing to say everything you got and lay it aside. Very few people will do that. But if you care about yourself, you'll do it. That's two. Appreciate it. All right, come here and look at some of my enemies. Not you, Mook. Y'all make me wreck my chair. He want me to say I get a bill. He want me to get a bill too long. I like that thing. I like to wait a few years before I have to permanently use it though. If it's all right with y'all, I appreciate y'all getting it for me, but I like to hold off another like 30, 40 years before I start really using it. Everybody all right? Sure, I appreciate y'all. Did y'all learn anything? That too. Get our envelope here. Goodness. Come on back here, baby. Where you going? Ooh, come on back here. Goodness. You like that, Danny? That thing's smooth, ain't it? Then when they pause you and we had that fall like that, you had a good attitude. You can, and anytime you want to use your Antoine, let me know. There's some other people here I like for them to stay away from. They got a nasty attitude. Ain't that right, Maya? I appreciate it. I got my cousin here with me today. Come on, cousin Fred. What's going on, Fred? Yeah, we go way, way, way back. Fred tell you, he remember I was drug dealing Tone, ain't that right? Fred still got Audrey asking me for $300 today. She asked you last week for that $300. She said, you and Fred owe me $300 too. Ain't it about 30 years, still hollering about $300. You gotta forgive folks at some time. We definitely appreciate coming out being with us today. That ain't smell great, nephew. That means ain't smell real old, ain't she? Woo, she old, boy. Yeah, she young and old. Definitely appreciate everybody and appreciate all those watching in. Definitely want to make sure we get this right. Don't want to go all the way through here and later on wind up you and live in vain. I know nobody don't want to die, 'cause I sure don't want to die. I'm going to live as long as I can die when I just can't help it. But unfortunately, I'm going to have to depart. I'm going to put it up from the sweater. Thank you, Hadassah. That's my Hadassah. Get ready to go try to take up this little money right here. Don't take that long, you ain't got but a little bit. If you got a lot, let me know. I'll break your house and steal it. You know what I'm saying? I got another cousin, San Antonio. You seen Jimmy Lee? No. He called you last week. He on that stuff? I'd have asked for I see folks. He working everything. That's good to him. I like to know. I don't see nobody on that stuff. I ain't got nothing to steal. You remember years ago he stole my car? Oh, listen. I told him about the story when he stole my car. Me and Uncle William had got on the phone. That the first time, cousin Uncle William. Uncle William told me about that. I said, Uncle William, I said, Jimmy done stole my car. He said, well, I said, yeah. I said, I'm flat the time, ran the gas. He said, well, Tony. He said, Jimmy got to get ready to go back to school or something. And he said, I got to get Jimmy clothes. He said, I'll be on the phone, give a damn about your car. I said, Uncle William, I said, I don't give a damn about you. My mama came through that. She said, who you talking to? I said, your brother. Hang that phone up! She was sunk. I was mad though, but I was like, you struck a nerve. You swung at my car? Fred, remember Fred? He stole a car. You rode with him one time, he stole a car. Hear it? Am I lying? Fred, they don't know, tell him. That boy steal a car in a minute. Family car, you be sitting around, folks set them keys down. Man, Jimmy got y'all were going down through the street. They thought it was one of their other uncle car. They said, there go Benny going. They looking at it. They were talking about cousin Benny. They like, there go Benny going. Benny stay. He said, no, they was standing right there. Car gone. Fred was in there with him. How old was he when he stole that car? He was older than you. He ain't had no license though. He was. He older than you. That boy been messed up a long time. Then he got me in trouble when his mama died. I came there to see him. I forgave him. Man, mama died. You put all your stuff to the side. I had to go there and see him. They said mama died. I said go there and see him. Be all ceremony, sat down. And I did the right thing like a cousin do. I said, man, you want to smoke a joint? I know you. He said, yeah. We walked on out there and smoked the joint, smoked it. And I left. Man, they got that joke, tried to give him that morning at funeral. He couldn't get up. They were like, what's wrong with you? He said, Tony gave me something, said it's called some new thing. I said, Tony, them brother went smoke the rock. And I said, man, they were pissed. I was sitting there, they called, my mama got me, what did I get that boy? I said, what? I smoked one joint with him. That nigga done left when he done smoked that joint and went and got him some crack and done smoked it up. They don't talk about Tony gave it to us. He said, call some new stuff. You remember that? That boy lied on me so bad, man. I said, I'm done with this nigga, man. I'm like, what is that nigga doing? No, I ain't talked to him. I did it there at the funeral. That last time I seen him, that was it. So I'm through burying folks. I was done. Yeah, I hold stuff. I be like, yeah, I'm staying away from you. I don't know what you be undone. I think, man, my family was pissed. You talking about he couldn't get over his own mama funeral, and everybody know I was a drug dealer back then, so it looked like I'm like, man, I say he gave that nigga no dope. What's wrong with him? Said he done changed his ways. I say him in 20 more years, I find out. No, that's good though, folk that changed. Oh, they doing good. That's good. He got 3 brothers too. That's all right. It's always good to see and hear folk doing good. Oh, we sure done had some time, ain't it? Yeah, boy, I had some time. I ain't always been old preacher, man. But I had to come this way though. After you done been out there long enough in them streets, boy, you gotta make some changes, boy. You can't keep being the same. But you get old and time go on, you can't keep being the same. But I appreciate my experience I had, but I don't want to do it again. Cause a lot of folk that come along with us, they make it out. Isn't that right? Fred had to go doing some time, didn't you? And made it on out there. A whole lot of boy, folk done been down and been all around and we done messed up, done all kind of stuff out there. But Mr. Yahuwah saw fit to bring us out. That's right. I shacked up, I done done it all. I was wide open out there, man. Mr. Yahuwah sure don't spare my life. I'm grateful today. So I'm on this side. I've been on this side now for 27 years. You ain't going nowhere. That's how I used to be one you had to watch out for. I used to start stealing cars and selling dope and everything else. And I got out all that stuff and cleaned my life up. That's the best way to go now. 27 years. A little long, 27 years. But I appreciate me who I never thought I'd have done it this long. But you know what? You do it one day at a time. Isn't that right? All right, well, I appreciate it. We're going to get ready to stand up so we can get ready to go. Give Mr. Yahuwah a hand clap. That show is nice there, boy. That's a nice present. All right, so what's our announcement? Yoshawaka Wika? That's some announcements for us.
Damon.
She trying to hold the mic like she can sing now. Who are Damon?
Martinez. The Taylors.
The Taylor?
Taylors, yes, sir.
Oh, the Taylors. Man, I thought she said Taylor. I was like, okay, Taylors. Okay, the Taylors.
Yes, sir.
We got to just put that on there. Yeah, Taylors. Yeah, go ahead.
MJ and the girls.
MJ and we'll hub y'all. All y'all, but the girls definitely miss y'all.
The Bookers.
CJ.
Liz.
Palmers.
Jeff.
All the Palmers?
Yes, sir.
What did he say about that other guy?
He don't know who he's talking about.
That's what I'm saying, the Palmers. They good then. Who else?
Jeff.
Joanna.
Danielle and the kids. Meeks. Also, Monday is Amore's birthday.
Hey, my baby, Moore! Happy birthday, Moore! That's all right. Mookie will be 12. Ooh, you getting old, Moore. My Moore's a little bit old baby. She's come a long way. Me and Mona did a good job with her. Oh, yeah, and the Basha, they helped too. Go ahead.
2 more things. The Mormons in their hall.
I was going to ask about it. I was like, the Mormons ain't sitting there hall. We got a lot of them out today. Goodness.
Michelle and the baby.
And
And also Tuesday,
That's one more of her. So what about Deshaun? He ain't saying here. She just said Michelle and the baby.
He
the
here.
baby don't like us or something?
Nah, he here.
Oh, he here.
No, I'm saying, and the babies.
I ain't hear. Did y'all hear baby? We heard baby one. So you made like Deshaun didn't care nothing about her, didn't it? He like, man, bump y'all. Yeah, my daddy burned up the meat. Well, what you saying? Well, what you trying to say? Go ahead.
And also, Tuesday is Clay and Jahid's birthday.
Hey, Clay! Happy birthday, Clay! Way to go, Clay! Oh, yeah, Jahid. Boo! 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 That's a nasty attitude, though. That's nasty. He just got a nasty attitude. Happy birthday. I didn't know y'all birthday on the same day.
Got Rashida.
And who? Rashida sent her. What'd you say, Clay? I know that right. And he was born on the same day you were born on. I made that nigga move his birthday with me. I made that man scribble on his birth certificate. That's all right. Happy birthday. Appreciate them. All right, that's all our announcement. All right, appreciate everybody. We'll get ready to pull out so we can go. Most High, Kudash Shaba, which is the separated Father. Hadu, which is thanks once again for allowing us assembly to be here, for the debar that's gone forth, which is the word, for sparing our Kai, which is our light, giving us an opportunity to Shama, which is to hear, to hearken, and to obey that which you committed to our trust. Ask you to baraka us, which is bestow a gift, to allow your piney, which is your presence, your face, to shine, to our aura upon us, which is shine upon us. To allow your piney to be our protection and be our encampment, your presence. For we are Yakra by your Shem, Yahuwah Elohim, through Yahushua, Yahushua Mashiach, the anointed one. Asking you to baraka the married, the single, the separated, the sick and the afflicted. Those ask us to palau for them and with them. Baraka them that support your dabarim. Baraka the out of town to strengthen them with all and be their nakum, which is be their consolation. Continue to be a healer of those locally afflicted among us that are going through. Baraka your Shamaim and your Sabut, which are the heights expansion where you dwell in your army. Baraka your Ra'ah and your Malaki, which is your messenger and your shepherds. Baraka Jerusalem, the city, the foundation of peace. We ask you to baraka those in war-stricken country, disease and pestilence, those behind prison walls, those bereaved, those on the edge of despair, midst of doubt, those that are going through the flood, the fire, the droughts, whatever the situation, circumstance, we committed to you. We ask you to baraka those that heard the bodies, that you'll let it touch and prick deep in their lives, which are in their hearts, that it'll find root and it'll take hold, that it'll spring and bring forth fruit, that they'll be candidates to do your will, to shakar you with all, which is serve you, and do your Kodash will, which is your separated will. Make us of the Kodashim, which are the separated ones. Make us joint heirs with the Mashiach, with the anointed one, that in the Yuma Mashpat, which is judgment, that you'll vindicate us and not condemn us. When we've done all we can do on this side, we palau for your Ruach HaKadosh, which is your spirit of separation to seal us unto that Yuma redemption, that we can meet you in Shalom and we can tahalim your Shem better, which is praise your name better. In the Shem, which is the name of Yahushua, Yahushua HaMashiach, let us all say, Amen. Come home! Come home! I hug you. All right, come on, kids. Let me sing my song. Let me sit down. Y'all mind if I sit down? Yeah. Y'all mind? Y'all don't supposed to mind. Come on up. That way we can all be about the same height. Come up a little bit. Come up a little. Y'all come on up. Y'all be ready. Now y'all can listen. Y'all got me on beat. Who coming up? Where you going? Malak, come on this side over here, Joker. No, you ain't gonna sit up here. What you looking for? No, stand right there. Joker, you bigger than me. Turn around right now. Come on here. Stand right there. No, you stand right there. Papa, oh, turn around. Come on, turn around there, Papa. Turn around, let them see you. There you go right here. Let them see you. There you go, look. Turn around so they can see you. Y'all ready? Come on, let's go. Y'all ready? 1, 2, 3. Y'all ready? Hit it. Ra-ah-ah-ha, the little children. Oh, all the children of the congregation. Oh, red and yellow, black and white, they are precious in His sight. Ra-ah-ah, the little children of the congregation. Woo! Come home, come home.